I just left. It's right now.
Big as a week 2 matchup gets. The Stony Brook Seawolves return to the comfort of their own home. Today's number 8.
Yeah, and after all these weather delays, you know, we'll see football after dark. Stony Brook has a chance to
Open 2. Take 2.
Alright, we're going to do take 1. Thanks for making us a part of your Saturday.
after all these weather.
Thanks for making us a part of your very late Saturday night.
When Gopher Gates when crowd is back up, when the
How you doing, sir? Brandon's doing this with one eye open, one eye closed.
Thanks for making us a part of your Saturday night. He's Brandon London. I'm Johnny Wincott. Big time meeting of the second week of the college football's regular season.
Chance for a statement win, knock off the conference champs.
Yep.
Are you okay with the pre-record?
We didn't do any pre-record. Oh. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, that's fine.
If I go, I might go too long. Just let me know if I talk too much over it. Thanks for making us part of your Saturday. Joined alongside Brandon London. I'm Johnny Wincott. Big time tilt in week 2 of the college football season. Stony Brook off the 8-win turnaround from last year. Well, they come back home and kickstart the home campaign against last year's CAA champs.
Yeah, and after multiple weather delays, we have ourselves a little CAA football after dark, but Stony Brook has a chance for a statement win and knock off the team that won the conference the year before.
I'm going to move up a little bit just so I'm not so tiny next to you. No, you stay back there. And can you move a teeny bit that way? Sweet. Oh, no, keep talking, people. Keep talking.
Sorry,
It's very awkward for me. I'll get quiet.
Just gonna have to take the title.
Test 1 2 1 2 3 from Laval Stadium on the campus of Stony Brook University. Week 2 of the college football season. It's as big as a week 2 matchup gets. The Stony Brook Seawolves returning to
1,
the
2, 3,
comfort-
4. Brenda London. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. 1, 2.
Test 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 from Laval Stadium.
Get a chance to win this game. Get a chance to win this game.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Especially when you started.
We've procrastinated long enough.
QB win tie the jalapeno.
From Laval Stadium on the campus of Stony Brook University, we welcome you to week 2 of the college football season. It's as big a week 2 matchup gets. The Stony Brook Seawolves return to the comfort of their own home to face number 8 Rhode Island. Poop. From Laval Stadium on the campus of Stony Brook University, we welcome you to week 2 of the college football season. It's as big a week 2 matchup as it gets. The Stony Brook Seawolves return to the comfort of their own home to face number 8 Rhode Island. Thanks for making us a part of your getting very late Saturday night. He's Brandon London. I'm Johnny Wincott. Big time week 2 tilt. Stony Brook off the 8-win turnaround from last year. Return home to face the CAA champs of last year and the preseason favorites.
Yeah, and after multiple weather delays, ain't nothing wrong with a little CAA football after dark, but Stony Brook's got a chance to make a statement win by beating the team that won the conference the year before. It could be a great way to put the entire CAA on notice.
Still a few question marks at the quarterback position for Stony Brook after the loss last week at San Diego State. Chris Zellis, the Hampton transfer, will get the start for the second consecutive week.
Yeah, and I like the way you phrased that. He gets the start, but he's going to have to take the title as QB1. We both know Rhode Island is going to try and take away the run, and Roland Dempster, the hot running back. But if Chris can make 3 to 4 big boy throws, not only do you have a chance to win the game, but you can win that QB1 title as well.
Zellis started all 12 games last year at Hampton. Whoever's playing quarterback will have a problem in number 8, A.J. Pena, the CAA Defensive Player of the Year last year.
Yeah, when you turn on the tape, you want to call him Jalapeno because he turns up the heat. This kid does it all. He can play coverage. He can run the alley and make tackles. You're going to hear us say the name Jalapeno all the time because the kid makes the plays that are there.
Pena 6 sacks away from becoming the all-time leader at the University of Rhode Island. 11th all-time meeting between Rhode Island and Stony Brook finally coming your way after 2+ hours of delay. It comes next here on FloCollege.
Good stuff, good stuff.
Test 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Test 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. From LaVelle. From Laval Stadium on the campus of Stony Brook University, we welcome you to Week 2 of the college football season. It's as big a Week 2 matchup as it gets. The Stony Brook Seawolves return to the comfort of their own home to face number 8 Rhode Island. Thanks for making us a part of your getting very late Saturday night. He's Brandon London. I'm Johnny Wincott. Big time Week 2 tilt. Stony Brook off the 8-win turnaround from last year. Well, the waiting is over here at Stony Brook after about 2.5 hours. 6 p.m. kickoff becomes nearly 8:30. He's Brandon London. I'm Johnny Wincott. Appreciate you hanging with us. We know it's been a lengthy night, going to get a little bit longer here. Rain still coming down at Stony Brook. First home game of the season for SBU, and they welcome in the number 8 team in the country, Rhode Island. The preseason number 1, the winners last year. Tough starting field position for Stony Brook. The new starting quarterback, Chris Ellis, in front of the Stony Brook faithful out across the 20, a 5-yard pickup, making his second consecutive start for SBU. Still some quarterback questions heading into this Week 2 matchup.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see how they call the game for Zealous, who didn't seem comfortable against San Diego State, but now you're back home in front of the home crowd. Go ahead. You see him using his feet here to make a play. Good. If you can't, if it's not there in terms of the throw, don't force it. You don't want to have him trying to make any throws that he doesn't feel comfortable with. If it's not there, use your legs. It's why you have the upper hand in this quarterback competition right now.
A good sign for the Seawolves. 2 plays deep. They've got their first down. 42-0 losers last week at San Diego State, upholding the one-game tradition against FBS opponents. Had only 6 first downs in that game.
Yeah, and you can see Stony Brook starting fast here with the no huddle, trying to get Rhode Island's defense, trying to catch them off guard. I like the tempo that they're using early in this football game.
Roland Dempster looking for the edge. He will not find it. Stony Brook waiting for the ruling on the field. Looks like they'll be just a yard short. So it sets up an early 3rd down. Again, this game just underway. We were scheduled for a 6 p.m. kickoff. Lots of lightning in the area. The storm front came, and the storm front may still be here. Seawolves need the 36-yard line. Roland Dempster, a good candidate to do so. But the football came loose at the end of the play. Stony Brook says they have it. Rhode Island says they have it. And the Rams emerge with a first drive turnover. So it was worth the wait for Rhode Island, trying to win their 4th consecutive against Stony Brook. And a rare miscue by the veteran Roland Dempster on just the 5th play of the drive.
Yeah, it's a real, I guess, weird night tonight for just within CAA football right now. A lot of these teams have been affected by the weather delay. That's something we normally don't see, and that's Roland Dempster putting the football on the ground, whether it's a drop ball or you especially don't see him fumble the football that much. But that's unfortunate because you can see that Coach Kosh wanted to get the offense started fast, wanted to get some sort of tempo going, and they had some sort of rhythm going, but great job by that Rhode Island defense, who is one of the best in the CAA when it comes to creating turnovers. Great job of them putting a stop to that rhythm and that momentum early and getting the football back for their high caliber offense.
Fans, this official replay review is brought to you by Stony Brook.
We're going to review.
Well, going under the hood.
Okay, already
we've done
early.
We've done enough waiting tonight here at Laval Stadium. What's a couple more minutes?
I don't know. I think we need to go like this is soccer and just let the clock run the entire time. Maybe put some extra time on at halftime, like the soccer does. But you know, it's unfortunate that we had to kind of had this rain delay, because you think of the excitement about coming home, playing in front of your home crowd. Yeah, the game didn't go the way they wanted it to go against San Diego State, but there's still a lot of buzz and a lot of hype around this program here on the island, here in Stony Brook. And I knew they did a great job with the marketing team about getting the students here, getting some fans, getting the butts in the seats. So it's unfortunate that the game was delayed the way it is, but at the end of the day, Johnny, you roll your sleeves up, you go play football, but it's unfortunate that Stony Brook turns the football over on their first possession.
You said roll your sleeves up, play some hard-nosed football. This is the same guy, Brandon London, who does not want the window open tonight.
What is this? It's this thing. Am I like supposed to have the window open? And to people that are listening at home, since we got a little bit of time for context, last year it was like -2 degrees out here, and Johnny had the window open here in the press box. I was cold. Couldn't help it. I was cold.
Brandon, the former football player, Johnny, the nothing football player. Call on the field stands 13:05. If you're within 2 minutes into this first quarter, Rams keep it on the ground. Antoine Littleton Jr., second game as a Rhode Island Ram. We spoke to Jim Fleming, the midweek conversation. Great conversation with both Coach Fleming and Coach Kosh. Told us, well, Antoine Littleton, really first time in his 5-year college football career, he is the guy. And he gets the tandem with Devin Farrell, who makes his 11th start as a Rams quarterback. He's 8-2 as a starter.
Yeah, Littleton Jr., I mean, he had a coming out party last week against Campbell. He was very impressive, ran the ball, was patient in terms of letting his holes develop. He's a great addition to this offense.
Farrell steps up under pressure, takes a big hit just by the first down marker. Farrell loses the football. Stony Brook definitely has the pigskin. They re-emerge with possession. So just 2 plays after Stony Brook turns it over, they lasso it back free.
And you can see it here. Look, I compare him more to Donovan McNabb than Jaden Daniels when it comes to his scramble ability. But number 8 right there, Chase Chalmers with the stick. We've seen 2 big booms, like they're playing in Seattle with the Legion of Boom. We've seen 2 big hits from both sides of the defenses to create some sort of turnover. Big play by the Stony Brook defense. I guess they realize going up against this Rhode Island high-power, high-caliber offense, it's going to be on them tonight to shut them down and give the opportunity, give Chris Zellison his second start, give them a little bit extra possessions, give them a little momentum and some confidence. Big play there, big turnover there by the Seawolves defense.
Well, as you can tell, still raining pretty good here at Stony Brook. We had a lot of time to discuss storylines heading into this game with a 2.5-hour rain delay. And well, it appears to already be affecting this game. Stony Brook's first drive, 5 plays, fumble, turnover. Rhode Island's first drive, 2 plays, fumble, turnover.
And you can kind of expect that sometimes when we're talking about a sloppy rain game like this, but I don't want to say no, you know what, let me take that back. You expect it, but you don't because of the two guys who put the football on the ground. You're talking Roland Dempster and you're talking Devin Farrell. They never put the football on the ground, so it's unfortunate, but at the end of the day, you got to get those extra stops and those turnovers in a game like this.
So Chase Chalmers out of that buck linebacker position. Forced the fumble, and Brandon, are we gonna go under the hood again here? Spoiler alert, the answer is yes.
It's like we got a classic old school Cadillac. We just keep going under the hood.
So the quickest review you've ever seen in college football history. They're back out onto the field. Well, we've been in for quite a ride here in the first 2 minutes and 37 seconds after a near 2 hour and 37-second delay. And they have ruled that the ball will remain with Rhode Island. No turnover courtesy of Chase Chalmers. And the drive continues. They said he was down. So now a 3rd down and 1 for Rhode Island. Stony Brook had one on their first drive. Littleton Jr. churning the legs. Brandon, this will depend on the spot of the ball. Devin Farrell says first down, but the nearest official holding his fist high in the air for 4th down.
Oh, it's go for it territory. You're not trying to kick a field goal in a monsoon, and not so. I guess, is it a monsoon? Yeah, it looks like a monsoon out here. It's downpouring. You got one of the best offenses not only in the CAA but in the country. They're going to run that football here and try and pick up this first down. I don't see why not.
4th and less than a yard for the Rams, already on their first drive of the game. High snap handled. Farrell gets the necessary yards and a couple more. So the drive continues and a 4th down conversion. Saw a few of those last week in their season opening win against Campbell. Right off the rip, 2 CAA games for Jim Fleming and company.
Yeah, and I think they kind of understood that this season they had the bullseye on them. I'm going to say all the cliche terms, hey, the hunter turns into the hunted, all of that. But, you know, last week against Campbell, they started fast, and they're trying to score on their open possession in, again, back-to-back games.
Play fake, deep ball near sideline. Looking for Greg Gaines III.
I love the wide receivers that the Rams have on the perimeter, and Marquise Buchanan and Greg Gaines III. 2 big, tall, 6'3", 6'4" wide receivers who can go up and get the football. But I think the most impressive thing about the both of them is how they both are able to run the tree. A little unfortunate they couldn't connect there, but best believe he is going to go back to one of those twin tower receivers that he has on the perimeter.
6 catches, 45 yards in the series opener for Greg Gaines. The season opener, should say. Farrell throws his strike over the middle. 2 yards shy of the first down marker, brings up another 3rd down and short. Rhode Island about, well, we'll call them in the red zone. Yeah, they're in the red zone.
3rd and manageable as well. You could do, it's 2 down territory again. So if they don't get the first down here, as long as they don't lose yardage, expect them to go for it. But right now, it's all about players over plays. I'm looking at number 1, Marquise Buchanan in the slot. See if they draw something up for him to get this first down.
Oh, Buchanan, the big play specialist. They keep it on the ground. Littleton runs over the defender, but he's short. So same song and dance as earlier in the drive. 3rd down and 1 becomes 4th down and inches. Decision time for Jim Fleming. And here in the rain, Brandon, I think we know what the answer is going to be.
Oh, absolutely. You got to bring the big boys in like you see here. You got 3 tight ends coming into the game. Going to have some sort of heavy formation or heavy package here. Look, you got Littleton Jr., Antoine Littleton Jr., who's run the ball effectively in between the tackles last game and at the start of this game. Why not just give him the ball? 3 yards in a cloud of dust gets you a first down.
Littleton Jr. to Farrell's left hip, gets the tote. Littleton Jr. just barely got a yard.
I don't know if he got that, Johnny.
This will depend on the spot. And he did not make it. Stony Brook will end up getting the football back. So the fumble was canceled out by Chase Chalmers. And the Seawolves stand tall at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, big play by the Seawolves defense. They couldn't get the turnover, so they'll get the turnover on downs. Anthony Farrelly, one of the better players on this defense and the leader on this team, comes, gets skinny, and scrapes off the edge. Great job to trim them fat. When we talk about kids at home, linebackers at home, when we talk about trimming the fat, it's about coming right off of the butt of that blocker on the edge. He comes down, gets skinny, makes that tackle, and therefore he gets the ball back for the Seawolves offense.
Second drive for SBU, keeping it on the ground. That will likely be a common theme today, given the weather conditions. And that might actually favor Stony Brook a little bit, bring back the CAA rushing leader last year in Roland Dempster. SBU gets to the line quickly, 2nd down and 8. Near side flats. Stony Brook has the catch, but it's going to bring up another 3rd down and long. First one here at Laval Stadium for Marquise Dietz. The less than rare now in-conference transfer from Stony Brook's Golden Apple rival, UAlbany.
I would have liked to see Dietz take that to the outside instead of cutting that back to the inside. That's where, when you go inside, Johnny, that's when all the madness is. That's when the flow is coming from. You got a better chance of picking up a couple extra yards on the outside.
This might be a free play for Stony Brook. The catch incomplete, but the flag at the 20-yard line. The hard count there, courtesy of Chris Sellis. Told you, has that coastal experience. 12 games as a starter last year for Hampton. And just waiting on a ruling here. Stony Brook remaining on the field.
Offside penalty against Rhode Island.
So confirmed it was a free play for Stony Brook. They take advantage. It's the types of veteran maneuvers that Billy Koch likes to see out of his grad student quarterbacks. It's still developing as a passer and as a leader, but likes his dual threat ability. Playing his first game here at Laval Stadium, less than 9 minutes remaining in the first quarter. After a 2.5-hour lightning delay, here's lightning right down the seam for Stony Brook. Only green ahead and down inside the red zone. Rolling is rolling for the first time this season.
I mean, does that surprise us? We saw it all last year. Great job by the Stony Brook offensive line. You saw the parting of the Red Seas. Run, big man, run.
Zealous on the keeper. Right down the seam inside the 10. Stony Brook getting to the line quickly. Seawolves failed to score in their Week 1 matchup against San Diego State, fell 42-0 to their lone FBS opponent. Roland Dempster rolls down to the 6.
All right, if you're Stony Brook right now, you got to make sure you have some clean football from here on out on this drive. It's 2nd down. It could be 4 down territory. You don't want any type of holding, any type of blocking the black, any type of penalty that can push you back. Right now, you're about 6 yards from scoring your first touchdown on the season against the conference champs. Right now, you need clean football, clean operation to put some points on the board.
Some of the bigger bodies in motion. Dempster on the left hip for the transfer quarterback, Chris Zealous. It's rolling. Down inside the 4. Brings up 3rd down and goal for Billy Koch's crew. By the way, a 54-yard run for Roland Dempster to get Stony Brook into the red zone. It's more than he had all of last week, 49.
Remember when we were talking about the keys to the game for Stony Brook, I said that Zealous is going to have to make 3 to 4 big boy throws. One of those throws may have to be on this possession right here to get into the end zone. You know that Rhode Island is going to load the box to try and stop Roland Dempster. If Zealous gets a one-on-one, he's going to have to deliver a catchable ball to one of his playmakers on the perimeter.
3rd down and 4. Inside handoff, Dempster. He will not get to the goal line. So decision time here for Billy Koch on a rainy, muggy night here in the North Shore of Long Island. 4th down and goal from the 3. And they will send out Stony Brook's single-season field goal leader last year, into Kirby.
I like it. I mean, I'm not going to question it. But this is as a former wide receiver, this is where I want to go for that. This is where I want to get my opportunity in the end zone. But Chris Zealous is going to have to show Coach Kosh that he can trust him to put the ball in the air in situations like that.
The Stony Brook Seawolves have their first 3 points of the season, and they have their first lead of the season. 6:01 remaining in the first quarter. Stony Brook 3, Rhode Island none. We're just getting started here at LaValle Stadium on FloCollege. Six minutes remaining here in the first quarter. A 3-0 score, Stony Brook over Rhode Island. Glad you've made us a part of your Saturday. Getting a whole lot later night. He's Brandon London. I'm Johnny Wincott. For a little more context on this one, we'll count down Turfside with Johnny Gadamowitz.
Hey, thank you, guys. Much appreciated. And you were talking about it. Obviously, no secret from a Stony Brook standpoint. Billy Kosh just wanting to see some more consistent drives. No points on the board, albeit against an FBS squad last week. So you have to be pleased with the way the offensive line looked on that first drive, the 50-plus yard Dempster run. Then on the flip side, Brandon, to your point from earlier, Marquise Buchanan, about as good as it gets in terms of a CAA wide receiver. Two-time All-Conference. You wonder, though, on a night like tonight, obviously the elements in full display, how much he factors in.
Well, we'll find out in a moment. Ball is loose. Stony Brook comes up with it. Oh, the Rhode Island Rams more special teams woes. It's a fumble recovery by Stony Brook. They will start on offense inside the 30.
You know, while both teams were kind of getting warmed up in the rain and trying to figure out how they were going to get warmed up. You saw Rhode Island with a lot of rah-rah to keep the energy up, but it's like they needed to be a little bit calm and realize, hey, the rah-rah is cool for the energy and the motivation at the beginning of the game, but right now you're going to have to protect the football. I saw Tiki Barber yesterday, high and tight. That's what they need to be thinking that throughout the rest of this game. Hey, I got a couple important friends out there.
After having drinks with Victor Cruz, I saw Tiki Barber.
Nah, not drinks. We just went to Germany together, me and Vic.
Seawolves start up inside the 30. Right back to the bell cow, Roland Dempster. Billy Koch told us maybe somewhere between 20 and 25 touches in this game. That might go up given the weather conditions. The rain has slowed a little bit. Thankfully, no more lightning. It is still the first quarter, only 5:35. You're seeing that correctly. Brandon London, Johnny Wincott. Johnny Gadamowitz patrolling the sidelines, hopefully staying dry. Second down and 8 to go for Stony Brook. Roland Dempster absorbing the first would-be tackler. Out to the 23-yard line, of course, the record-setting season last year for Roland Dempster. Over 1,300 yards and 18 touchdowns. And unfortunately, it looks like Nico Papik, one of the team captains and O-lineman, remains down for Stony Brook.
We talk about Roland Dempster. I remember last year, I don't know if you guys were with us last year, and if this is your first time joining us in the booth, we were, I guess, I was absolutely just blown away by what I saw on tape and what I saw in person from Roland Dempster. I don't know how many times I kept using the phrase Roland keeps rolling. I know people got tired of that, but this kid is as advertised. You see it, the 1,332 yards rushing, 18 touchdowns. You know what that means? That's a lot of highlights you put up on your social media and up on your Instagram. That kid was anything, everything and more for this Stony Brook offense, to which we thought was going to be a pass-first offense, but he kind of took Coach Kosh out of his own, I guess, culture, out of his own scheme, because he had such a great running back in the backfield. And it wasn't just the way he ran the ball, the way he caught the ball as well. He was the second leading receiver on the team. If they're going to win this game, we're going to get a heavy dose of Roland Dempster.
Would you consider 9 carries for 74 yards a heavy dose? Up the cut again. Seawolves rumble into the red zone. This time it's the QB on the keeper, Chris Ellis. We dip under the 5-minute marker here in the first quarter. And you are with us for history. It's the latest start in Stony Brook football history for any home game.
Yeah, it's definitely past my bedtime. It's definitely past my bedtime. But if you see, what is that, our third or fourth design quarterback run for Zealous? Now, this is Billy Kosh's way, is getting him comfortable. Usually you want to do it in like a quick little hitch route, quick little bubble screen or something to get that quarterback. Nice, easy throw to get him comfortable. But we talked about him being a dual threat quarterback. He's using his legs now to get yardage. He's using his legs now to get him active in the offense early, and it's working so far.
Second down, 7 yards to go. Little flip pass to the outside. Just a couple of yards for Stony Brook into the grasp of Des Williams. He was their leading receiver at San Diego State, only had 3 receptions, but a breakout season last year for Des. Who wrapped up his campaign with that game against Monmouth. Over 100 combined points. He had 11 receptions and 2 touchdowns.
And I know that wasn't a touchdown or a big play, but it was a good accuracy throw by Zealous to throw it to where the running back or Williams, the receiver, could catch it and get upfield.
Dempster still going. Roland, no signal. Here come the Hog Mollies for help. And he is just a few inches shy of the goal line. More decisions to be made for Billy Kosh, who, by the way, is expecting a second child possibly tonight. We told you a lot of storylines in this one.
A lot of storylines.
Figure fit that one in somewhere. And they give him the first down, so no touchdown, just got the first down, and a whistle before the snap. Timeout, Rhode Island. So Jim Fleming just got it off in the nick of time, the 8th ranked team in the country, depending on which polls you look at. We'll talk this one over sort of as expected, Brandon, once we've got to football here 2.5 hours late. Expected a lot of running, a lot of clock ticking. Already 3 minutes to go in this first quarter.
Yeah, and I like the way that Stony Brook has kind of started off. Like, I understand Roland Dempster kind of put the ball on the ground on that opening drive, but you've seen him bounce back with the 54-yard run to set them up to get points on the board, and now he's done it again. And we can all, I'm not a betting man, but I would bet that he's going to get the football on this 1st and goal to potentially score the first touchdown of Stony Brook's season. But they've jumped out on the Rams fast, and it's all because of this guy, Billy Kosh, Kosh Coacher, 2024 CAA Coach of the Year. And when we talked to him on the phone, what was that, Wednesday, at our coaches chat, he's hungry, man. He wants this win today.
Roland Dempster also hungry. It's his first of the season. The first Seawolves 6 of 2025 provided by the CAA rushing leader. And the Stony Brook Seawolves, barring an extra point, will take a 10-0 advantage.
Yeah, only 17 more, and he ties his total from last year. You know, he's on a great pace, but great drive by the Seawolves to capitalize on a turnover. 7 plays, 29 yards, 2 minutes and 53 seconds off the board, but most importantly, 7 points on the board.
First 10 here at Laval Stadium go to Stony Brook. It has been worth the wait so far for the Seawolves faithful. Final 2:58 on the other side here on the North Shore.
At H2M, we play to win. Architecture, engineering, sustainability. We compete to be the best there is. We believe in teamwork. Working together, building together, winning together.
Wolfie gets the ball. He drives to the basket and scores. Oh no, Wolfie's injured. I hope it's not serious. Stony Brook Medicine Advanced Imaging, only 2 miles from campus, has state-of-the-art technology and is led by subspecialist radiologists, experienced technologists, and a friendly staff. Advanced Imaging offers many tests including CT, MRI, ultrasound, 3D mammography, and PET CT. Call 631-638-2600 for an appointment.
The late night party rolls on here in the North Shore. Little Seawolves after dark. He's Brandon London. I'm Johnny Wincott. Johnny Gadamowitz patrolling the sidelines on this wet and muggy Saturday night. First 10 belong to SBU, looking for their first win of the season in their first conference game of the season against the number 8 ranked team in the country this season. And they just so happen to be the preseason favorites in the CAA.
It's wet and muggy out here, but the vibes are high with the way that Stony Brook has started fast this game. If you would have told me on this, 2.5, 3 hour drive from Jersey all the way out here that Stony Brook was going to jump up 10-0, I'd have been like, nah, I don't think that, because of the caliber of program that Jim Fleming runs at Rhode Island. But you're watching a Seawolves team that looks like they believe in themselves.
Boy, the special teams woes. Won't say it quite continues, but a little slippery there after fumbling the previous kickoff. It bounces into and out of the grasp of Jamal Mensah. Brandon, he's the one who just fumbled, and it is a rainy night.
And that's something to keep an eye on, because why was it such a close game against Campbell last week? Because of muff punts on special teams, by their punt returner, Angel Sanchez. Now you have a kickoff that's been put on the ground. Now he even bobbled that one. It's in his head right now, so that's something we need to keep an eye on. And if you're Stony Brook special teams, you smell blood. Now you got to attack.
Well, we noted earlier today, Devin Farrell has not really done a ton of losing as the starting quarterback for Rhode Island. He is on target out to the 39-yard line. There is Marquise Buchanan. Figured it would take too long before he got on the stat sheet. The All-American and 2-time All-CAA wide receiver. Starts today, Brandon, 71 yards from 2,000 career receiving yards. If he gets there, when he gets there, he'll be the 9th Ram to do it.
Yeah, I was about to open up my window and yell, throw it to Buchanan.
Plenty of time for Farrell. Now it's fleeting, and he throws it away.
Great job by the Stony Brook defense. The communication on the back end, locking up that RPO. They took away the slant option that Farrell had, and he had to kind of use his legs to try and get out of there. But even better, great containment by the Stony Brook defensive line to not allow him to create any sort of big play by hitting the outside. Now you put them in a 2nd and long situation.
Littleton Jr. motions to the right side of the line. And maybe a potential illegal motion. This will be a penalty on Rhode Island. I hope you're good at charades, just like we are. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
I got a 2-year-old. That's wheels on the bus go round and round. So I don't know.
It's next channel, Peppa Pig.
Okay. My kid's a bluey. He's a bluey guy.
the team in bluey right now struggling in this first quarter. 2:26 to go after their second penalty. Farrell sits into the pocket, throws another strike right down the seam. There's the redshirt junior, Omari Walker, the third-year Ram by way of Arkansas State. And they are just into Stony Brook territory as we approach the 2-minute marker in the opening quarter.
Yeah, great throw and catch on that dig route right there. Find himself a zone. Great job by Farrell putting it on his body. One thing you don't want to see is receivers having to stretch out to try and catch the football. That's how tip picks happen. That's how tip balls happen. And when tip balls happen, then tip picks come down. So great job putting it on his body to where the receiver can catch it and get that first down.
Farrell well protected again behind that veteran offensive line and into double coverage. A dangerous throw to Buchanan.
Yeah, on that one, again, you saw the difference in the throws. One was a wide open throw on that first one where they connected. The next one, he kind of threw it into a little bit of traffic. Now that is where you really wanted to put it on his body to where he could catch it and turn away from that contact that Bryson Parker was trying to put on him.
Second down and 10. Littleton towed up the middle. So it makes it third and a little bit more manageable. Call it 5, maybe 6. Boy, the rain's still coming down in bundles here in the first quarter. Fingers crossed for everybody involved. No more lightning.
You just jinxing everything today, huh? How about you say, hey, Brendan, let's hope that you win the Powerball or something like that. Let me get some good luck over here. But both these teams have the luxury of having a running back that you can trust on second down so you can throw the ball on first down.
They need 5 yards. Great play moving to the sideline. Second catch in the drive by Buchanan, who is inching ever so close to that 2,000 career receiving yard mark.
Second catch, but he only needed one hand. That was a great eyes catch. If you're a young receiver at home, I don't know if we can play it back or not, but you're going to see Buchanan never take his eyes off the football. It was thrown to the inside, but he was still able to one-hand it and pull it in. This kid is as advertised.
Off the first third down conversion of the night for Rhode Island. Plenty of time. Deep ball down the seam. He's got a man, just too much on it. He wanted a Bora Kwarteng, the Sacred Heart transfer. And now it's fourth down, maybe another decision to be had here by Jim Fleming.
And this was a problem last week against San Diego State for the Seawolves defense. You got guys running up the seams wide open. It's unfortunate that Farrell couldn't put it on them so they could score that touchdown and dig into this deficit. But expect to see a lot of deep crosses, a lot of posts out of the slot. They're going to take the shots down the field. It's just unfortunate they couldn't connect there.
Just inside the 40-yard line, Farrell lines up for another pass, and Littleton dropped it. Aiden Kaler, welcome back to the Stony Brook Seawolves. Their leading tackler in 2023. Transferred to Charlotte, only had 15 tackles last year. Final year of college football eligibility here at Stony Brook. And he was the one who caused that fumble earlier in the first quarter.
E.T. come home, Kaler come home. Come on back to the island. Hey, a lot of these guys hit the portal. I know they want to bet on themselves, but some of them don't get the playing time they want. Why not come back to the place that loves you and make plays with your boys?
Rams have to get to the 28-yard line. Stony Brook brings pressure. Rams pick it up. Great offensive line. The throw to the near side. It is dropped at the last moment. So Greg Gaines the third can't come up with it. Fourth down from inside the 40.
I don't know. Rhode Island needs to wake up because right now, Stony Brook is not only winning the football game, but they're winning the energy battle as well. Rhode Island looks like they're still on the ferry. Look, Stony Brook is playing like a team that's hunting right now, that is hunting the top team in the CAA. If they can keep applying the pressure, they may be able to add on to this point total. But you have to play smart football right now to close out this quarter.
So 18 seconds remaining in the quarter after the fair catch by Marquise Dietz. So time enough maybe for 1 or 2 plays for Stony Brook before we switch sides. You mentioned the Rams have to wake up. You played many college football games. I don't know if you've ever a part of a 2.5-hour lightning delay, but got to be a little bit more difficult to focus up every half hour when you're told the game's going to be a half hour later and a half hour later.
Yeah, but no, because at the end of the day, this is just football. This is what we sign up for. At the end of the day, you know you're the conference champs from last year and that teams are going to give you their best. So you need to be prepared for every single situation that gets thrown at you.
First carry of the day for Shakai Carson, going to send us to 0-0 here in the first quarter. Well, couldn't ask for a much better start for Stony Brook. Came in a long time in the waiting. First home game goes to the second quarter when we return. Billy Kosh's crew with a 10-0 lead over number 8 Rhode Island. Seawolves maintaining the 10-0 advantage. Getting you set for the start of quarter number 2. Second down handoff after switching sides, and it's going nowhere for Stony Brook. The first of the night for Ikaika Ragsdale. And before we get you the third down play for Stony Brook, URI trying to climb out of this funk in the first quarter. For more on Jim Fleming's group, we'll go turf side with Johnny Gadamowitz.
Guys, interesting to get the perspective of Jim Fleming. 12th year at the helm, a New York native no less, said he was looking forward to taking the ferry from Connecticut to Orion, chatting with some of the Rhode Island broadcasters. They canceled the ferries earlier today because of the weather, so hope he still got to experience some of that. But for Fleming with this Stony Brook program, he said, look, we've been there on the precipice trying to take that next step. We know where they are.
Zealous on the quarterback keep.
Fourth down coming up for Stony Brook. And a flag is on the field right by the line of scrimmage. And fair point brought up by Johnny. Our midweek conversation, Jim Fleming, Billy Kosh. Well, you feel like Stony Brook kind of where Rhode Island was a year or two ago, looking to take that leap. Jim Fleming, very conscious of the fact that Stony Brook going to be hungry in this one. They lost their first game of the season. They lost the final 2 last season.
Yeah, and Stony Brook has kind of been on the outside looking in, especially with the way that their season ended. We got they're the beneficiary of a penalty right here. I can't really see what the penalty was, but instead of coming off the field and having to punt, a penalty on Rhode Island's defense now gives them a 1st and 10 again, and Zealous a chance to try and extend this drive.
So personal foul penalty, 15 yards. Give Stony Brook the first down. No need to think about any sort of fourth down plays. And Clayton Taylor, by the way, the Australian punter who had 10 punts last week in week 1, has not been used a few minutes into the second quarter.
That's always a great thing.
We got a battle of the Australian punters today. James Allen on the other side for Rhode Island. Zealous through the air, got a man down the seam. Inside the 25-yard line. Zealous locates Cole Panici for his first catch of the season. It's a big one.
Big play right here off the play action. Look, you know everybody in they mamas is watching Roland Dempster. Great run action, great run fake, and Benici just gets open up the middle of the defense. Huge play. I was talking to you earlier about the 3 to 4 big boy throws that Zealous is going to have to make. Johnny, there's one. There's one, because you want to be able to for him to get comfortable throwing the football down the field as well.
Goes down as a 48-yard pickup for Cole Panici, who's had career highs in all major offensive categories in last season. Second down, 8 yards to go. Play fake, Zealous in some trouble. Rolling right, dumps to the sideline, nearly intercepted. Nice play by the sprawling defenseman on the all-out dive. That was Trey Lubin, who was at his 4th school in 4 years, Texas Tech, Kaiser, Memphis, Rhode Island.
And a partridge in a pear tree. But right now, if I'm Stony Brook's offense, you want to score right here. 3 points doesn't do much for you, especially when you had the 54-yard run by Roland Dempster and you only got 3 out of it. Now you got the explosive play in the passing game that gets you down here in field position. But find a way to get this first down and get in the end zone after.
Farrell scanning, throwing off the fingertips. But a flag again by the line of scrimmage. Seawolves were bailed out, had the drive stay alive with a personal foul penalty on 3rd down just a few moments ago. But it appears this one will be against the Seawolves.
And now you're putting Zealous in a situation. Okay, they declined it and they'll go for it, and they'll bring, the Seawolves will bring in the field goal team. So that penalty may not hurt you as much. But that's unfortunate because you wanted to get a little bit more out of that drive.
Kirby set a single season record last year at Stony Brook. 17 made field goals. Kirby gonna try and take off and not get there. The elements again rearing their ugly head. Stony Brook player down as well. They will sort it out during the break. 10-0 your score. 12 minutes to go in the second quarter. After the botched field goal by Stony Brook, we thrust you right back into the action in the second quarter. All you've missed is the first play of the drive, an 8-yard run for Antoine Littleton Jr. And here was that previous sequence. During the break, Enda Kirby had to be helped off by 2 members of Stony Brook's training staff. And we'll keep an eye on that as this one progresses. Off the play fake, Farrell going to utilize the legs. And he does get just enough for the first down. So both teams with one early turnover here in the first half. Seawolves still maintaining the 10-0 lead.
Great job by the Stony Brook defense. Disciplined football right there, because you had the little play action off of the counter tray look. Now with the way that Antoine Littleton Jr. has been running the football, that's easy for a linebacker to have bad eyes, but they were able to cover the crossing routes and the flat routes in the force Farrell to run that football.
Quick outs, big hit in the sideline, wrapped up by Stony Brook. And it happened right in front of Billy Kosh. He loves it. So the defense has come out hitting hard here. Billy Kosh was quite candid with us in the midweek conversation. It's very difficult to get a true litmus test when you take on an FBS opponent like San Diego State. He referenced the Marshall game of last year. Same margin, 42-point loss. And you might watch that game and think we might not be that good this year. Just tough to tell.
Yeah, but you're seeing the way that Stony Brook is responding, especially the defense. They got gashed in the run game against San Diego State, but they come out a lot more physical this game.
Deep ball down the seam, wide open inside the 30-yard line. There's the big play for URI. Greg gains the third. Does gain. It's a first. And they near the red zone.
Nice little post route here. Way to get up on that safety. Stony Brook has to have the communication on that back end, because I believe it was one of the corners that was supposed to get back and to help in that deep third. But this is what the Rams are going to do on offense. They are going to play action and push the football down the field with the wide receivers that they have, which is why they are never out of a game when they have some sort of deficit.
Littleton Jr. has the edge, and he's inside the red zone. So 2 consecutive big gainers after the 37-yard catch by Greg Gaines III. It's a first down run by Antoine Littleton Jr. As noted, playing with his 3rd different school. He started at Maryland, 3 seasons there with the Terps. 1 year last year with Temple. He is the dude for Rhode Island this year in the running backs room.
And what an addition he's been. We talk about the wide receivers, but when you have a playmaking running back like Littleton Jr. that can keep a defense honest, that's only going to open it up for your guys on the outside.
Throw over the middle, plucked by Buchanan, touchdown.
As advertised, that's a big boy catch, all hands catch in the rain. There's not a lot of receivers out there in FBS that can do that, let alone FCS. But I love the confidence of this kid. I'm upset at Mother Nature right now that I wasn't able to get down on the field and kind of talk it up with him a little bit before the game to kind of see where his mindset is, not only about this game before the season, but we're talking about one of the best receivers in the country and the best receiver in the conference. That's a big catch, big drive, and now we got ourselves a football game for some CAA late night football. What do we call it, CAA after dark?
No, we were calling it Seawolves after dark.
Okay.
Doesn't sound as good after the Rams score. 10-7 now your score, 9-10 remaining in the second quarter. We'll take it a break and come back here at LaValle Stadium.
My Country 96.1, Long Island's home for country. Playing all the hits from the superstars and the new stars. We also bring you some of the biggest country shows on Long Island at the Catholic Health Amphitheater at Bald Hill and other local venues. Download the My Country 96.1 app now on your smartphone and take us wherever you go.
I think one of the things that makes it different to work here as a nurse or a nursing assistant is the teamwork that is out there amongst the staff.
We work together with one mission in common, and that's to take care of our veterans and their families.
If this is my small way of helping them back, my career as a nurse is rewarded.
The opportunities here for professional growth, our health insurance, salaries can't be compared in any other facility.
I've been here 11 years. I think it speaks for itself.
Please consider working at the Long Island State Veterans Home because we do make a difference in people's lives each and every day.
Mr. Murphy was a big runner, and running was a big part of his life. And I'm also a runner. I know that running becomes part of who you are, and you can't do that any longer. It's taken away from you. You lose a sense of who you are. I was determined to get him back running, and I promised him that once we were done with his treatment, we would run a race together. So we're here to celebrate his accomplishments and perseverance and his strength, and I'm so thankful to be able to run by his side.
Rhode Island Rams in kicking formation, run out across the 30-yard line. It is still raining in bundles here on Long Island's North Shore. The Rams are on the board. They have won 3 consecutive games in this 10-game series against the Stony Brook Seawolves. That, though, Brandon, after Stony Brook won the first 7 of the rivalry.
In Rhode Island, that offense, man, just the team in general, you can see why they're so dangerous and why they won the CAA last year. But you could also see why they've gotten themselves in trouble in 2 games early this season. That's turning the football over and just giving it away. When you got a high-powered offense like they do with Farrell, you've got Gaines, you've got Buchanan, you want to be applying the pressure each possession. You don't want special teams to mess that up for you and give that team life. You want your offense to stomp them out, not even give them a chance. But great job of them responding, cutting the deficit to 3, 9-10 left in the second quarter. Now it's anybody's football game.
After the fair catch by Jace Freeman, first down handoff from the 25-yard line, and there is the teeth of the defense. Everybody getting involved to stop Roland Dempster. This is when Brandon makes the joke. It takes everybody to get involved to stop Roland Dempster.
Ah, man, me and you might have to jump out of the booth and jump on his back to help them tackle him. But now, great job by that Rams defense on first down to put the Stony Brook offense in the 2nd and 10 and a passing down. Now you're going to make Zealous earn his keep.
15th handoff already to Roland Dempster. Dangerous ball, poked up in the air and intercepted. There goes Hibbert. Pick 6. Rhode Island takes the lead here on the road.
And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, just like that. And that's Go ahead, Johnny, go ahead. Who was that?
LaShawn Hibbert, the LIU transfer, playing back on Long Island from Melville. And the Half Hollow East native has made it a 13-10 game.
And again, these passing situations, that's why you saw on the 3rd and 5, Coach Kosh run the football instead of putting it in the air. Try not to put his quarterback in any weird situations, but that throw's got to be on the body. The timing was off on the screen, the middle screen that they were trying to run. But anytime that ball is in front of a receiver, 1, the receiver, you still got to catch it. It touched your hands. But 2, anytime that ball is tipped, like I said, it's going to be picked. And unfortunate that it leads to points, because now, just like that, Rhode Island takes the lead, applies pressure to Stony Brook.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens here. Enda Kirby, who was injured on the previous field goal attempt. Out of a botched field goal, he took off and run. Stony Brook does have Mike Menino, who has done a little bit of kickoff duties. But Enda Kirby, the single-season record holder for field goal makes last year for Stony Brook, they may be playing without him the rest of the way. 8:28 to go, second quarter. Rhode Island, well, they have the last 14 points. looking for a second consecutive come-from-behind victory to start their 2025 campaign. After, you could argue, Brandon, and I don't think it would be a very tough argument, 2024, the best season in Rams history.
Yeah, I'm a UMass guy, so UMass, Rhode Island, we had some classic battles back in the day when we were in the Atlantic 10, but I was telling you this on the drive over here to the stadium. I've always looked at Rhode Island as little bro. You know, we used to go, and when I say classic battles, it meant we used to just beat up on them. So, but now, shout out to Jim Fleming. Hats off to him implementing his culture. Fast forward to last year where they won the conference. This is the team to beat. He's brought some respect to this program.
Jace Freeman absorbs the contact at the 28-yard line. They are feeling it on the Rhode Island bench. Little pep in their step as they hop back out onto the turf. 8:22 to go in the second half. And to your point, Brandon, prior to the 2018 season, Rhode Island endured 17 consecutive seasons without a winning season.
And you wonder, like, you kind of look, you know, me being a coach's kid, my father, head football coach at William & Mary, you wonder, why take that job? Why would you go and try and take that job to try and turn a program around? But hey, there's some people out there, they're fishers of men, they're leaders of men, they're culture changers, and that's exactly what Jim Fleming has done with this program. Changed the culture.
Zealous on the quarterback keeper, 2-yard gain, and now it is a downed Rhode Island Ram.
That interception meant a lot and means a lot to how they're going to call this game for Zealous from here on out. We've already seen the called and designed runs to keep him comfortable early. We saw him throw a couple of flat routes, a couple of little bubble screens here and there. He had the throw, the long throw and catch to Bonucci, but you wonder how much they're going to put the football in his hands in terms of throwing in the rain. You just want him comfortable, and you want him doing the things that he does well, and right now that's running the football. Is he going to break one? He could, but just the fact that when they call these design runs, he's getting 4 or 5 yards a pop, that's still helping the Seawolves offense stay ahead of the chains.
So Kareem Wilson Jr. remains down for the Rhode Island Rams. And we've seen a handful of players go down in this game, potentially weather-aided here on the turf. He's Brandon London. I'm Johnny Wincott. Johnny Gadameritz roaming the sidelines in a rainy Saturday night on Long Island. Stony Brook's 2025 home opener downed last week 42-0 at San Diego State, lone FBS opponent to the season. Rams, meanwhile, behind a 14-0 run in the fourth quarter, defeated Campbell. They trailed 20-17 entering that final frame. Jim Fleming, for the amount of mistakes we made in that game to win by 11, he said he was pretty impressed by his own team.
You know, I was impressed because there was I believe it was like a third down, 3rd and long, and this was the play that put it to sleep. It was Farrell to Buchanan on the long catch and run. It was a simple go route, and Buchanan does what he's done throughout the course of his career. Went up, made a play on the football, made 1 or 2 guys miss, and got into the end zone. And I say that to say this is why they're never out of it when they're behind. This is a team that can play from behind, and when they do, they kind of kick into another gear. A lot of programs, when they get behind, you kind of see them fold it in. But they continue to throw the football. They were running the football effectively with Littleton Jr., excuse me. And then on the defensive side, they were able to get stops. This is why you can't sleep on this team at all.
Oh, here comes the cart. And you can see Kareem Wilson Jr. visibly in a bunch of pain, the redshirt junior from Miami.
And that's unfortunate, man, because they were expecting a lot of big things out of this kid this year, this season, to get hurt in the second game. You saw a Rhode Island team, a lot of darn near the entire team took a knee, said a prayer for him. They kind of knew how serious that injury kind of looked and could be. But at the end of the day, the weather the elements, you got to put that to the side. One of your good friends, your brother, goes down. You got to put that emotion to the side. And Johnny, you got to lock in and play some football, because right now this drive, both for the offense and defensively, means a lot. Whoever wins this drive right here has a strong chance of winning this quarter.
So first 10 belong to Stony Brook. Last 14 have gone by way of the Rams. And as they tend to Kareem Wilson Jr., remind you, this game was slated for a 6 p.m. kickoff. Didn't happen until about 8:30, 8:40. So this is the latest home kickoff in Stony Brook football history in their 42nd year. And while we have a moment, Brandon, we'll take a peek at some scores from around the rest of the Coastal. The only other CAA v CAA game today, you know all about it, Maine against William & Mary. Heard there's some great coaching at William & Mary. 17-7 Maine at halftime.
How you gonna set me up like that and then talk about 17-7? Like, I'm sitting here like, because I haven't had a chance to check the family chat just yet on what the score is. But you kind of set me up for failure there, Johnny. Yeah, they got a great coach out there, but they're down 17-7. Call your dad. It's halftime. Thanks, Johnny.
You might have a chance to chat with him.
Nah, I mean, you need that win. You know, they kind of gave, I know they're kicking themselves for that loss against Furman last week. And then they go into Virginia the week after, so hopefully they can come back, do what Rhode Island just did and score some unanswered points to come back, win that game to go into Virginia.
We remind you, 11th all-time meeting between Stony Brook and Rhode Island. Seawolves did not have the pleasure of meeting the conference champions last year. The co-conference champs did so with Richmond. First ever CAA title for Rhode Island. And as noted, first 7 went to Stony Brook, last 3 have gone to Rhode Island. Each of the last 2, a 35-14 final in favor of Jim Fleming's group. All right, back to that CAA scoreboard. Bryant today took on UMass 27-26, your final in favor of the Bulldogs of Bryant.
Man, I went to UMass Lowell. Come on, man. I went to UMass Boston, man. Nah, you know, I'm always gonna claim my Minutemen. UMass, you know, it's a program that, again, I won 2 Atlantic 10 titles, 2-time conference champ before they moved into the CAA. Went to a national championship, FCS national championship as a Minuteman. But it's just unfortunate to lose to Bryant. But hey, great win by Bryant. You know, the CAA, the landscape continues to change. Programs leaving, programs coming in. That's a big win for them.
Well, this has been not a typical night of football. 2.5-hour lightning delay, kind of came in 30-minute intervals. These teams could not come out for warm-ups at their originally scheduled time because of the lightning. We've seen a couple of injuries already in this first half, and none bigger here than Kareem Wilson Jr. The ambulance is out on the field. And his entire team there to support him. He'll be headed to Stony Brook Hospital. And we'll wish our best to Kareem Wilson Jr. and the 6'4", 260-pound redshirt junior. And again, just in game 2 of the season, does that play a factor in kind of banging around bodies the first and second times this year that you're going up against competition that aren't your teammates in practice?
You get excited for it, man. You get tired of hitting the same guys week in, week out, day in, day out, and then having to see them and hang out with them right after. But, you know, that's why Coach Prime and Fran Brown over at Syracuse tried to have that joint practice. That's why they tried to get that legislation passed to allow these college teams to practice against each other, so where you don't come out flat that first game or the first 1 to 2 games. It's unfortunate that the NCAA didn't allow that, especially with how the landscape of college football is changing. But I mean, anytime that first game, the emotions when you're running out of the tunnel, whether for me, you know, running out of the tunnel playing against Kansas State, you know, on the road as a true freshman, you're playing against Darren Sproles and those guys. you know, your emotions are up. Same thing with Stony Brook going on the road playing against San Diego State. Your emotions are up because you want to beat that FBS team. But I think the team that's most prepared for today is Rhode Island, because they got a chance to have a scare and still come out with a win against a conference opponent.
This is the type of game, Brandon, and again, you probably know better, being out on the field more times than I have. These are the types of games that really test you early in the season. And all the excuses to not come out the way you'd like to, given how things kind of shaped up to 6 p.m., and then to 7, and then to 8, and a little bit further. Both teams are a couple of men down now. Unsure about the status of Enda Kirby, Stony Brook starting kicker. Kareem Wilson Jr. leaving in the ambulance. And yet another lengthy delay here for two teams that did not get started until nearly 3 hours after they were supposed to tonight.
But you know, again, we could talk about the weather, we could talk about the start time, we could talk about it all, but what's the point of you complaining? Like, I would rather
That's a general you, right? Not a Johnny you?
General, just the player in me. Like, if you're complaining about the weather, or, oh, look at the start time, or, oh, one of my really good friends, my teammate goes down early in the game. If you're complaining about that, that is small potatoes to when you're watching film on Sunday or Monday, and now you're complaining about losing a game that you think you should have won, losing a game against a conference opponent that towards the end of the year, you may need that tiebreaker against them. So it's one of those things where it's like, I still got some old school in me to where it's like, suck it up, shut up, and go out there and play your butts off, because you never know the importance of this win or this loss, especially in this conference.
Lights still shining brightly down at Laval Stadium. Not a great moment here for either team. Rain still coming down. And in a few moments we'll be able to resume the football game. 14-10 your score, 8:14 to play. As noted, the last time these teams met, 35-14, both times in favor of URI. Got to go back a couple of seasons. Johnny Martin taking one in for Stony Brook. But again, the Seawolves, after winning the first 7 contests against Rhode Island, have failed to beat them over the last few years.
During this injury delay, if I'm Jace Freeman, if I'm Des Williams, I would want to get some catches in. You know, just keep that rhythm going, because you're not going to expect a lot of catches, a lot of targets this game. But that 1 to 2 that you get, those opportunities that you get could just might change the game. So right now, for every player, whether if you're Buchanan, if you're Gaines the third, doesn't matter if you're a receiver, you're a pass catcher, try and keep your head in it right now. By not only getting loose, keeping your body in it, but also you got to get your touches in. You got to get your touches, because this is one of those games, Johnny, where it's just like you never know. And you'd rather be prepared for that moment as opposed to, again, watching it when you guys are breaking down the film and being like, man, I should have caught that. Man, I could have ran to the football faster.
He just peered through some of the highlights from the last meeting. Rams never trailed in that game. In this game today, Stony Brook scored the first 10 points. For a little more on this one, we are going to go turf side. Still raining down on Johnny Gadamowicz. Johnny.
Hey, Johnny, thanks so much. Yeah, the Seawolves players here on the near sideline just doing everything in their power to sort of stay fresh, seeing a lot of jumping jacks, some throwing of the football as well, like you alluded to, Brandon. This will be interesting from a URI standpoint. You get the sense if the Rams are really going to take that next step, they're going to need to see some more success on the road. This is a team that was perfect last year at Meade Stadium, 7-0, as you see the ambulance moving off the field, and a round of applause here at Laval Stadium. But just getting back to the point for URI, 7-0 at home, just 4-3 on the road last year. Now, obviously, it all worked out, co-conference champs like you allude to, but for a top 10 team, they want to continue to see those results, not just in their friendly confines, but in hostile environments like this, too, a Stony Brook home opener.
Jim Fleming, candid about it in the midweek conversation, said historically, and thank you, Johnny, we just don't have a lot of success at Stony Brook. Zealous, the keeper, past the 35-yard line. They've had a lot of success against Stony Brook lately. And as Johnny noted, a lot of success at home. They've won 10 consecutive at home going back to last year.
Big play right here on this 3rd and manageable. Let's see how much they have, how much confidence they have in Zealous's arm. They're going empty formation. But if they trust him, they'll let him throw it.
5 receivers, spread set. Here comes the defense. The lob near sideline. Little pushing and grabbing. It's all clean. In search of Des Williams. Noticed a lot of the Stony Brook receivers today are going sans gloves. Is that a weather-related thing?
Yeah, because you don't want the gloves. You know, that the stickiness on your gloves when it gets too wet, then it's effecto non grado. It kind of it kind of washes itself out, and then when you hit the ground and you get the rubber pellets on it, that's when you see yourself kind of rubbing your hands all over your body to try and get those pellets off. So it is better to go without the gloves, but it's unfortunate that they couldn't convert there and keep the chains moving on that drive.
So the Seawolves failed to score for their 3rd consecutive drive. And with the punt landing just inside the 30-yard line. Now the Rhode Island Rams offense coming back out onto the very wet turf at LaValle Stadium. Devin Farrell and company. He's already connected once with Marquise Buchanan. And that puts Marquise Buchanan just about 35 yards from 2,000, trying to become the 9th Ram to do it.
Yeah, expect them to try and get him the football on this drive, because anytime you need a big play, call one on the outside.
Littleton breaks through to the 2nd level. 12-yard pickup to the 40. So again, both of these teams just trying to find their groove here with all the waiting around today. There's the 9th first down for Rhode Island.
And we saw how hot Seawolves defense kind of started. They've kind of fizzled out a little bit, but right now is a great chance to grab and take the momentum back if they can create some sort of big play on defense.
Farrell, down the middle, Buchanan. First down into opponent territory. Now the 10th Rams first down. He is getting awfully close to 2,000 yards.
That's about the 3rd or 4th time they've run that route concept. You got the slot guy kind of running that post or that deep over out of the slot. And then you got the 6 route, the dig route from the wide departure stem from the wide receiver. They're finding zones across the middle on this Stony Brook defense. And if it's there, they're taking the deeper post.
Littleton lowers the helmet. Oh, now you know what Jim Fleming was talking about when he said on the phone call, can I try to compare him to Roland Dempster? He said our defense will all be starting with Roland Dempster.
Well, they wear the same number. They both rock that number 4, and they're both downhill running backs. Dempster's obviously a bigger power back, but I'm very impressed with Littleton and what he's been able to do in a Rams uniform. Almost 1.5 games into his Rams career.
Fleming said maybe the most similar thing about both of them, I don't want to be near either one of them when they're coming downhill. Littleton downhill, down the seam. Angles out of bounds at the 24. So starting to put together a nice little first half is Littleton Jr. Nothing junior about him. 11 carries for 53 yards. And this after 85 and 2 touchdowns in his Rams debut last week.
But you see how dangerous this Rams offense is. Not only can they strike the big play on the outside and the perimeters with the wide receivers, but they can also run the football effectively with Littleton.
Buchanan in motion, looking that way, hits Littleton in the flats. Great shoestring tackle.
That was pass complete to Littleton. Demario Crawford makes the solo tackle.
Demario Crawford, the St. Francis transfer, who was 6th on the team in tackles last year, playing his first game here at Laval Stadium. He put together 4 tackles at FBS San Diego State. By the way, while we're talking about tackles, Chase Chalmers had 5 tackles in the first 12 minutes of the first quarter.
That was a big tackle by Crawford because that was one-on-one in open space. Now you got a 2nd and 7 as opposed to Littleton getting free and making it into a bigger play.
First carry for the freshman Gabe Finovich. He did not play in his lone season at Rutgers last year. Jim Fleming told us, although Littleton Jr. is the guy, we still have some guys in the waiting that haven't had a chance to flash yet. Winovich may be one of them, the Bloomfield Hills, Michigan native.
He put the ball on the ground last week against Campbell. So now what you best believe when he comes up in the game, he's going high and tight, Tiki Barber style. But it's great to be able to have a running back that can get effective yards and spell your RB1.
Rams looking for just their 2nd third down conversion. It was short, good pressure by the Stony Brook line.
I like the route concept they had there.
And with your guy Raiden Afevong again.
Gains the 3rd, kind of runs what we like to call a return route. And then you have Buchanan on the corner route. Good concept. Farrell just needs to give him a chance. Give him a catchable ball there.
35-yard attempt for Garth White. Was 1 for 2 last week. The make was from 36. James Allen, the punter, is the holder. Snap there, kick is up, end over end. And right between the eyes, the Rhode Island Rams take their largest lead of the night, 17-10, deep into the night here at Stony Brook. So it'll go down as 7 plays, 55 yards, and it takes 3 minutes and 43 seconds off the clock. Rather impressively, of course, after the injury delay. So without their teammate, had to watch him go into the ambulance. And well, they got some points on the board.
We talk about this and you look at this Rhode Island offense on tape. Again, I talk about how they have the luxury of having a running back that can be effective, efficient, not only run between the tackles, but you've seen Littleton been able to hit the corner a couple times and gain some positive yardage, gain first downs. But with this offense, with the playmakers they have on offense, this is a team that's never out of it. So even if they start slow, all it takes is 1 to 2 intermediate throws to get their juices going, then whoop, mama, there goes that man. Buchanan goes over the top. So I love the play calling. I love the balance in the play calling. But right now, Rhode Island owns and holds the momentum. Stony Brook has to create some sort of big play to capture the momentum, but at the same time, do not turn the football over to give Rhode Island any more juice than what they already have.
Chase Freeman bobbles, recovers. And he's out to the 20-yard line with a penalty flag in the process. This could be a big penalty. Stony Brook looking for decent field position with 3+ minutes remaining in the second quarter. Brandon, are you ready for some charades?
All right, I go, then you go.
That's an illegal block in the back. The offense, first down.
I thought it was his wrist hurt, and then sun's out, guns out. So he was like, you're like, excuse me, where's the vending machine? Right over there. So, I thought he tried to flex the bicep a little bit there, but yeah, holding. But that's unfortunate because, again, when you're trying to get yourself out of a rut right now, you're trying to recapture the momentum. You don't have a quarterback that's going to throw the football down the field, and you know that Rhode Island is going to stack the box to try and stop the run. You can't have these penalties to set yourself back even more.
Well, if there were shadows, Stony Brook would be in the shadow of their own goalpost. Nifty play to the near sideline. Second catch of the day for Marquise Dietz. It's out to the 28-yard line. Clock is still ticking.
Okay, Dietz looked like Patrick Mahomes yesterday on the sideline, getting a little action there. But great job, great play call, great drive starter.
Anthony Davis in his second season at the helm of the offense for Stony Brook. Did Dempster get out of bounds? No, he didn't. Initial signal was keep the clock moving. It has stopped though. Now it resumes. Second down and 6. Zealous under fire. Zealous will utilize the legs and get out of bounds about 3 yards shy of the marker with 2:49 remaining in the first half.
Smart decision there to just pull it and run it. Get yourself 2 to 3 yards to get yourself in a third and manageable.
Stony Brook 3 for 7 on third downs. Did Dempster get there? He did indeed. They needed the 38. He gave him the 39. So the drive continues. Full complement to timeout to Billy Kosh and company.
But when you see a 3rd and 5 on your side of the football field and it's a run, does that mean you have overconfidence on your running back or no confidence on your quarterback?
Well, they got confidence in the quarterback on a 4th down in their own territory. He keeps the second quarter moving. We'll get you to the 2-minute stoppage here. And on Stony Brook's 9th first down, they get to the 50-yard line. Closing in on field goal range. Final 2 minutes of the first half when we return. Rhode Island leading Stony Brook here on FloCollege.
My Country 96.1, Long Island's home for country. Playing all the hits from the superstars and the new stars. We also bring you some of the biggest country shows on Long Island at the Catholic Health Amphitheater at Bald Hill and other local venues. Download the My Country 96.1 app now on your smartphone and take us wherever you go.
I think one of the things that makes it different to work here as a nurse or a nursing assistant is the teamwork that is out there amongst the staff.
We work together with one mission in common, and that's to take care of our veterans and their families.
If this is my small way of helping them back, my career as a nurse is rewarded.
The opportunities here for professional growth, our health insurance, salaries can't be compared in any other facility.
I've been here 11 years. I think it speaks for itself.
Please consider working at the Long Island State Veterans Home because we do make a difference in people's lives each and every day.
Mr. Murphy was a big runner, and running was a big part of his life. And I'm also a runner. I know that running becomes part of who you are, and you can't do that any longer. It's taken away from you. You lose a sense of who you are. I was determined to get him back running, and I promised him that once we were done with his treatment, we would run a race together. So we're here to celebrate his accomplishments and perseverance and his strength, and I'm so thankful to be able to run by his side.
Final 2 minutes of the first half. Stony Brook has it at the 50-yard line. Joined alongside Brandon London, I'm Johnny Wincott. Johnny Gadamowicz down on the sidelines. 17 unanswered at the moment for URI here on the road. A chance for their 4th consecutive victory against Stony Brook. And it'd give them a chance to open their CAA season with 2 consecutive wins right off the rip.
If I'm Stony Brook right now, you got to be smart with the football here.
So 2 receivers stacked on either side. First down handoff, just a 2-yard pickup. There is A.J. Pena. Figured we'd call on his name a few times. Last year's CAA Defensive Player of the Year, the preseason CAA Defensive Player of the Year this year.
And he's been quiet so far, but it's only a matter of time till he's going to wreak some sort of havoc and make a big play.
Zealous the keeper. No gain for Stony Brook. Clock ticking down to 90 seconds remaining in the first half. Still 3 timeouts for Stony Brook.
You have time, but right now, this is one of those big boy throws that Zealous is going to have to make, and if it's not there, then take off with your legs.
Zealous fires, incomplete.
Zealous pass incomplete.
Fourth down from the 48. Stony Brook punting unit emerges for the second time.
Fourth down.
And he's trying to talk to Dietz. I don't know if Dietz kind of took the route a little bit further, but the timing was off. I like the concept. They had Dietz as the third receiver. That means the third interior slot receiver. And he ran a nice little out route versus man coverage. The throw was a little off, but so was the timing of the route as well. That's something that they're going to have to sit down and talk about, because you're going to need to complete those going forward.
Angel Sanchez secures it. 16-yard line for the Rhode Island Rams. They also have their full complement of timeouts. Do you try and get something big to start, and if you do, you keep going?
Oh, you got 59 seconds with 3 timeouts, and you got a man named Marquise Buchanan on the outside. Oh, best believe they're going to try and put some sort of points on the ball, and they get ball at halftime.
By the way, only 2 Rhode Island timeouts remaining. Jim Fleming did use one earlier in the first half.
16-yard line.
Interesting play call right there.
First down run, and looks like Stony Brook's going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. So both teams with 2 timeouts remaining. 51 seconds to go in this first half.
Timeout. Stony Brook.
And if I'm on the Seawolves defense, I get excited that my head coach believes in us enough to call the timeout. I get excited that the fact that he thinks that we can get a stop and get the ball back to our offense to try and get some sort of points, maybe even a field goal with 51 seconds left in the second quarter. I bring it on myself. If I'm Ferrelli, if I'm Kaler, any of those guys, AJ Roberts, Chase Chalmers, I put it on myself to, one, make sure that we have sound football and not give anything up when it comes to penalties or mishaps or missed assignments, blown coverages. But see if I can make a play on the football if Rhode Island gets greedy and tries to attack.
They'll keep it on the ground with Littleton Jr.
Littleton on the run.
Same song and dance, 2-yard pickup. Stony Brook utilizes timeout number 2. Officials are going to gather. Late flag right by the line of scrimmage.
Penalty flag on the field.
Brandon, have I asked you, how's your charades game?
This is round 3. This is what we do at Seawolves After Dark. We play charades, watch some good football, try and stay dry. All around good football being played right now. We had a good game.
Oh, not ready yet. Oh.
Head, shoulders, knees, and toes. That's what I thought.
Brandon's the big guy who played college football at UMass and gets paid for every Tiki Barber mention. It's a first down. I believe a 15-yard penalty here for Rhode Island. And this might afford them a little bit of room to do something. Still with 2 timeouts because Stony Brook took the first 2 here on the drive.
And what did I just say? I said we cannot give up any sort of penalty. You cannot give up any sort of mishap or blown coverage. Now, instead of forcing Rhode Island to maybe put the ball in the air and getting an incomplete pass to stop the clock, now you put them in the position to where with 2 timeouts, they can attack. And you see Marquise Buchanan in the slot on the strong side of the football field. Keep an eye on that matchup.
You can hear some of the fans here at Stony Brook growing a little bit restless. The diehards have been here for nearly 4 or 5 hours. All right, let's play some football here. End of the second quarter. And again, Littleton Jr. jitterbugs up the seam, 4-yard pickup. And now Jim Fleming will use his second timeout.
But, and I'm not questioning Coach at all, but why run the football to call a timeout? Are you trying to run the, if you're trying to run the clock out, because that's what their 3rd straight run on this drive with 2 timeouts. You got dogs on the outside. You can still throw the football across the middle. You've been hitting the dig routes in the rain. So the confidence is there, being able to throw the football across the middle, attack the ball down the field. I wonder what they do coming out of this. Do they attack? Do they put the football in play down the field? But it's almost like they thought they could catch Stony Brook's defense sleeping in some sort of prevent coverage or them playing coverage.
Just 35 seconds remaining in the first half here at Stony Brook. Play fake, Farrell on launches. Oh, wide open at the near side corner, Kwarteng. 42-yard line. 29 seconds to go. Still 1 timeout for Rhode Island. Their 13th first down of the first half.
And they love those deep outs. That was their bread and butter against Campbell last week. If you're gonna play off, receiver's gonna get to their 6th step, roll it out, expect the ball at the sideline. That's just pitch and catch right there. You run that in routes on air.
From inside opponent territory, early movement. No need for charades there. That is a false start on Rhode Island. So an ill-timed penalty and what was shaping up to be a pretty good drive.
The wheels on the bus go back 5 yards. My kid's in Florida right now, man. I got a 2-year-old, he's in Florida right now. I miss my kid. Going wheels on the bus.
Seawolves after dark. And Brandon on the leash. So those who have stuck it out here in this downpour, making as much noise as they can for a first down and 15. Rhode Island backed up to the 48-yard line. Farrell off the back foot, right on target. He locates Greg Gaines III. 21-yard pickup and a first down.
That's a great play call. Look up at the top of the screen. He kind of runs an under and go, stutter go, stops, makes the flat defender come out there and kind of lose him, thinking that the ball was going to go out at the hitch route at the top of the screen. Finds the open zone and great throw by Farrell to kind of, we call that a fly and die. He throws it to him before the safety gets over the top to make the hit. And look, now you put your team in field goal position and in striking distance from the end zone.
Third catch for Gaines, 66 yards. Farrell looking end zone. Gaines got it. Down at the 1.
Again, you have receivers on the play, or you have receivers on the outside. Coach Fleming, I'm sorry for questioning you on using that timeout, but you knew exactly what you were doing, and you set up a one-on-one situation with one of your big boys on the perimeter. Great play, great adjustment to the football by Gaines III. And this is the last thing you want if you're the Seawolves defense, because remember, they were on a 3rd down. Remember, you used the 2 timeouts on the run plays on 1st and 2nd down, and then on the 3rd down, you get the 15-yard penalty to keep the drive going. The last thing you want to do is give up a touchdown because of that right now, especially going into the shortened halftime that we're going to have.
Stony Brook defense trying to hang on here at the end of the first half, trailing by 7. This has been a 6-play, 58-yard drive, the longest 30 seconds of your life. That's all the drive has taken so far.
It's been one of the longest days of my life.
Well, We noted the latest kickoff for a Stony Brook University football game at home in their 42-year program history. For all we know, this game could take us into tomorrow. First and goal from the 1 after the catch by Gaines.
Fade ball opportunity up top with Buchanan.
They're looking that way, throwing Buchanan's way, nearly intercepted.
You see that? We call that a fade stop. You go, it's a rollout. Great job by Camaro, though, staying on top of that, making a play on that football. He gets his head around faster. He can pick that. But that's a ball that Farrell wants to throw to the outside, to that pylon a little bit more to give his receiver a better chance of making a play on that football. But great defense by Camaro.
So before take 2 from Rhode Island, timeout by Billy Kosh. So both teams with 1 timeout remaining on the longest 38-second drive ever. We remind you to stick with us at halftime. At the conclusion of this second quarter, we will send it down turf side to Johnny Gadamowitz. He'll be joined by Billy Kosh, second-year head coach of Stony Brook, last year's Coastal Coach of the Year. Led Stony Brook to the biggest turnaround in FCS football from 0 wins to 8 wins. And possibly tonight, Billy Kosh will also go from 1 kid to 2 kids.
Yeah, Coach, congratulations last year. You know, turning that program around. He's got a lot of people excited about the future of the Seawolves program. And early congratulations for baby number 2. Coach knows wheels on the bus is round and round. He already knows that. But right now, needs the Seawolves defense to get a stop here.
Littleton Jr., the tailback. Buchanan in motion. Play fake. Littleton Jr. is open. Littleton Jr. scores. 23 unanswered by Rhode Island. And a 2-score lead here at Stony Brook.
Rhode Island, all gas, no brakes. I don't know what woke them up, who yelled, who screamed, who said what word that we can't say on the airwaves, but this team has woke up and they look like the co-champs from the CAA last year. 8 plays, 83 yards, the longest 34 seconds you've seen in the history of college football. They cap off that drive with 7 points going into halftime.
So another look at the play fake. Good play call by Jim Fleming and company. Mike Flanagan, the offensive coordinator. So make it 24 consecutive points for the Rhode Island Rams. They had a come-from-behind victory in week 1. That was a late come-from-behind victory, 4th quarter against Campbell. Here they fell behind 10-0 in the first quarter. It has been Rhode Island ever since. You said they needed to wake up when they were down 10-0.
And I also said that they were the team that was built for this moment, for this game, because we talked about we weren't able to evaluate Stony Brook last week against FBS San Diego State University. But on the flip side of it, Rhode Island got a scare. Rhode Island kind of got punched in the mouth a little bit by Campbell. And I'm not even going to say like punched in the mouth. It was them kind of punching themselves. You know, I don't know if you got an older brother or not, but you ever had the older brother like hold your arm and start punching you and say, why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself? And that's what they were doing, turning the football over on special teams, giving Campbell short fields, and they were able to capitalize on that. They went down last week. But then they also woke up, went on a run, and was able to win that game by double digits. That tells you a lot about this Rhode Island football team.
For the record, older sisters could do that too.
You are correct. I had an older sister as well. She used to beat my brother up for beating me up.
Fair catch, no time comes off the clock. Final 7 seconds here in the first half. Given the conditions today, there will be a bit of a shortened halftime. So at the conclusion of the second quarter, we'll go down for some thoughts turf side with Johnny Gadamowitz, Billy Kosh, mad dash into the locker room.
Do I have time to get a coffee?
TBD. You could use the facilities. 3 straight scoring drives for the Rams. And that will end our first half of the first home game of the season. URI 24, Stony Brook 10. And we'll head down to Johnny Gadamowitz for some final thoughts here after the first 30 minutes.
All right, yeah, Johnny, thanks so much. Yeah, no dice on Coach. He's got some bigger fish to fry tonight with the abbreviated halftime as well, and expecting the birth of his child. But can tell you this much, from a Rhode Island standpoint, you're talking about now 24 straight unanswered, and it's a Rams team that last week in their opener against Campbell outscored Campbell 14-0 in the fourth quarter. So this is a URI attack that can really put up points in bunches in a real methodical way. And I can also tell you that just from a Stony Brook perspective, where I'm situated here on the sideline on the near side, definitely a little more quieter as that second quarter went on. Momentum firmly on URI's side. It'll be interesting to see what adjustments the Seawolves make coming out of this abbreviated break.
Appreciate it as always, Johnny. A 10-0 first quarter score for Stony Brook, 24-0 second quarter score for Rhode Island. 2-touchdown lead will send us to break here at Laval Stadium. Rhode Island leading Stony Brook in week 2 of the college football season.
Aha! I knew it! You are stealing my Jersey Mike's gig.
Danny, it's just because Jersey Mike's is an official sponsor of the NFL. I'm not taking your gig.
Now you're taking my look.
This is how I dress.
My glasses. I've been looking for those.
I wear glasses. I have astigmatism.
I'll give you astigmatism.
Ready for you on set, Eli.
I gotta go.
Oh. This ain't over, Manning.
Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
Hey, that's my line. A sub above.
Wolfie gets the ball. He drives to the basket and scores. Oh no, Wolfie's injured. I hope it's not serious. Stony Brook Medicine Advanced Imaging, only 2 miles from campus, has state-of-the-art technology and is led by subspecialist radiologists, experienced technologists, and a friendly staff. Advanced Imaging offers many tests including CT, MRI, ultrasound, 3D mammography, and PET CT. Call 631-638-2600 for an appointment.
Aha! I knew it! You are stealing my Jersey Mike's gig.
Danny, it's just because Jersey Mike's is an official sponsor of the NFL. I'm not taking your gig.
Now you're taking my look.
This is how I dress.
My glasses. I've been looking for those.
I wear glasses. I have astigmatism.
I'll give you astigmatism.
Ready for you on set, Eli.
I gotta go.
Oh. This ain't over, Manning.
Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
Hey, that's my line. A sub above.
Wolfie gets the ball. He drives to the basket and scores. Oh no, Wolfie's injured. I hope it's not serious. Stony Brook Medicine Advanced Imaging, only 2 miles from campus, has state-of-the-art technology and is led by subspecialist radiologists, experienced technologists, and a friendly staff. Advanced Imaging offers many tests including CT, MRI, ultrasound, 3D mammography, and PET CT. Call 631-638-2600 for an appointment.
here at Stony Brook. Obviously, admission's a critical aspect of any university. How is your day-to-day role here at Stony Brook?
It's been going great. We have a great team who is really paying attention to the students and families that we're working with. We have a lot of excitement growing here. So our work on a day-to-day basis is focused on recruiting students, recruiting the newest class of Sea Wolves to come to Stony Brook and take part in this exciting community.
Over 4,000 newest Sea Wolves in this new class. The target's on your back now. You're the #1 public university in New York. How do you remain the #1 spot?
Well, first and foremost, it's about being able to tell the story, right? It's being able to talk about all of the wonderful things that make us the #1 top-ranked flagship university in the state of New York. It's ensuring that we know what's happening across campus so that we can use those stories, that energy, the research that our faculty members are engaging with, the research that is happening at the university hospital system, and be able to ensure folks understand what opportunities that equates to for them.
We're chatting with Mark Cortez here at halftime, 24-10 Rhode Island over Stony Brook. What have been some of the more fun parts of your job so far? I know the school year is still kind of fresh, a few weeks in. Students are here. What have been some of the fun moments for you?
It's always exciting to see our new students come in and really start to build their home and find their community here at Stony Brook University. You know, this year we are bringing students in from 40 counties in the state of New York, from 35 different states across the United States, and from over 30 different countries from around the globe. So these students who are bringing their unique identities and their stories and engaging and sharing in our community here has been really exciting to see, even in the first week and a half of classes so far.
Before we let you go, what are some of the things coming up on campus that we could look forward to here early portions of the school year?
Some really exciting items here. We have 2 new majors launching this year. We have a new major in accounting, a new major in rhetoric and writing. We have new housing that's being set up right next door to the stadium. So students are going to have first-class access right here to the stadium to come out and support their fellow Sea Wolves. But then we also have exciting work happening across the university in AI and in quantum, and the research that's happening in those areas continues to grow and continues to highlight Stony Brook in the best way possible.
Mark Cortez, thank you so much for making the time. Congratulations. Try and stay dry and enjoy the rest of the game.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Stony Brook trailing 24-10 here at LaValle Stadium. We'll return with some halftime highlights, Stony Brook and URI.
Blackberry. Black Bear Nation, let's ride.
Go Tigers.
We are Hampton U.
As one.
Fly Hawks.
Tap the rock, baby.
At Geek Prod.
Roll ups, baby.
Phoenix Rising. 3 more feet.
Go Tribe.
Go Dogs. One team, one heart.
In the classroom, in the field, on the water. Stony Brook University is a place for daring. Daring to see where you can go when you follow your heart. Daring to define your own path is not always easy, but it is always worth it. At Stony Brook, New York's flagship university, daring to be something more in this world starts with daring to be true to yourself. Stony Brook University. Dare to be.
News 12 Long Island is here with you.
We're with you weekdays at 5 a.m.
Getting you ready to start your day.
Dangerous conditions out there. Leave extra time and check back for updates.
The results of our investigation, a new privacy protection bill.
Every night at 10, we update you with the top stories.
And get you ready for the day ahead. Here with you live from Ronkonkoma.
At H2M, we play to win. Architecture, engineering, sustainability. We compete to be the best there is. We believe in teamwork. Working together, building together, winning together.
From the studios at the School of Communication and Journalism, welcome to the Stony Brook Media Group Halftime Report, brought to you by Tropical Smoothie Cafe. I'm Kate Schnurr. In science news, a Stony Brook University researcher is making strides against kidney disease. Dr. Robert Braunstein, a faculty investigator in the Division of Nephrology and Hypertension, has received a $200,000 kidney care grant, making him one of 9 to receive this honor. Braunstein's research focuses on the kidney's main filtration unit and how damage there can lead to serious kidney problems. The funding will allow him to explore new cellular pathways with the goal of developing therapies that protect kidney function and improve patients' quality of life. It's the start of a new academic year at the Stony Brook University. Our own Miles Reese and Kaylin Penny caught up with incoming freshmen to get their impressions of SBU.
The 2025 school year is fully back into swing, with Seawolves starting their fall courses. We had the opportunity to speak with some new students from the class of 2029 to learn what they're most excited for this semester.
Definitely to get myself in some more opportunities for my resume and to get into the nursing program, knowing that it's very competitive. So being able to stand out is something I look forward to and wanting to pursue.
One thing I'm looking forward to the most is definitely making new connections and networking myself as much as possible.
Other Seawolves had some good advice for the incoming students.
The best piece of advice I would say is to take it slow. Take everything slow, take everything with the grace. Once you go throughout your journey, just relax, don't stress about anything. Things is going to go your way. Just got to play the role and it'll come out the way you want it to.
But the most important thing our Seawolves are talking about, getting connected.
I'm definitely excited for the student engagement. Ways that I can give back to my campus and contribute to my campus.
I would say absolutely explore anything that you're interested to. Greek life for me personally was one of the best choices because I got to meet my sisters and I got to meet a bunch of friends. And this is like a sisterhood for a lifetime.
Altogether, it's clear our student body is buzzing with excitement for this new year at Stony Brook University. Kaylin Penny, Halftime Report.
If you're looking for a technical excellence, you've come to the right place. The Stony Brook School of Communication and Journalism is proud to honor one of our very own as this week's MVP, Paul Christensen. For over 16 years, Paul has served as the newsroom's technical coordinator and manager, becoming a cornerstone of the SOCJ community. Paul's passion for tech and teaching is evident in his most recent project. Paul will soon be introducing alumni-led professional development workshops. His impact is incredible. Congrats, Paul, our SOCJ MVP. That's it for us in the studio. We'll send you back to the Laval Stadium for the first half stats and analysis right after this. Stay with us.
Halftime rolls on, still raining here at Laval Stadium. Raining touchdowns in the second quarter for the University of Rhode Island. 24-10 your score. We'll peer at some highlights. Well, me and Brandon London. It started with 10 consecutive points by Stony Brook, set up by the 54-yard run from Roland Dempster.
You talk about rolling, you can see the offensive line just open up a huge hole for him in the middle. He caps it off with a touchdown. Stony Brook kind of came out firing. Stony Brook looked like the more prepared team in this game.
But then here came Rhode Island, just like last week, capped it off with the Buchanan touchdown. They also get the field goal, and then towards the end, right there at the end of the half, they get the touchdown. Stony Brook running the football effectively, 74 yards passing for them. But if you look on the flip side, that 183 yards passing by Rhode Island has been efficient. Farrell has done a great job of getting his ball to the weapons on the outside perimeter, and Buchanan and gains the third. But when we talk about that 87 yards on the ground with Littleton Jr. running the football, they are a balanced offense. But here's the biggest thing right there, 3 for 4 in the red zone. Being able to capitalize and put points in the board, put points on the board when getting into that red zone area. Look, this game is far from over. I would say Stony Brook is going to have to be a little bit more aggressive in terms of the pass game to come back. It's going to be hard, but it's not something that can't be done. We got a big half of football coming up here on the island.
Rhode Island 24, Stony Brook 10. Kickoff next here at Laval Stadium. promise, the second half is starting right now. Stony Brook trailing 24-10. It's 24 consecutive at the end of the first half by the Rhode Island Rams. Appreciate you hanging with us. Wet, muggy night here on Long Island. Still pouring rain as it's been for the last few hours. And the kickoff into the end zone. Starting field position at the 25-yard line for the Rams. And in that second quarter, Brandon, they looked like the preseason favorites and the 2024 CAA co-champs.
Yeah, you know, it was a thing where they just kept hurting themselves, putting the football on the ground, the turnover on downs, and then you put the football on the ground and gave Stony Brook a short field on the kickoff return for them to get their first touchdown, not only of the game but for the season. But once they woke up and then smelled the smelling salts, I'm talking about Rhode Island, they started playing like the champs, the true champs that they are. Now let's see if Stony Brook can kind of recapture that momentum and put a halt to it.
Pitch left, Littleton Jr. Second start as a Rhode Island Ram. He had 14 carries, 77 yards in that first half. Countered by Roland Dempster's 95 yards and a touchdown. We expected them to get the ball a lot in this game. The skies opened up at about 3 o'clock. We expect them to get the ball just that much more in this game.
Yeah, I think Littleton's going to have to close this game out for them. Again, Rhode Island is a team that can throw the football down the field, but they can also hit you with that 4-minute offense and put the ball on the ground in terms of running the football.
Play fake, pressure. Farrell avoids for the moment. Down he goes. First sack of the season for Stony Brook. On play number 2 in the third quarter, Aiden Kaler teams up with Sebastian Regis.
And they did a great job of collapsing the pocket, and Aiden Kaler kind of looked like he was in a spy position. Knew he wasn't going to be able to get to the quarterback, but great job by the containment on the outside by the pass rush to kind of funnel him right back into Kaler. Now you put them in a 3rd and long situation. You got to get off the field here.
Surprisingly, the Rams, even though they had the 24 straight points, just 1 for 5 on 3rd down in the first 30 minutes. Got to get to the 35-yard line. Farrell unleashes to that far side, just a little high. So one of the rarities, he misfires this time around. And the Seawolves will get the football here early in the third quarter.
Yeah, they tried to go with the little stutter go on the top. Great coverage on the outside. I couldn't see the name of the corner that was up there, the name of the number. But Gaines kind of cut his run. He should have kept running because Farrell was trying to give him a shot by throwing him a little behind the shoulder. But great job by the Seawolves defense to get off the field.
Punt takes a Stony Brook bounce. And just inside SBU territory. They'll start at the 49-yard line. So 51 yards to pay dirt for Chris Ellis, Roland Dempster and company, who have now gone 4 consecutive scoreless drives.
And if I'm Chris Ellis, I come out here fired up, but at the same time, I control my emotions because right now, your defense has put you in position to where you got to go 51 yards down the field to score a touchdown to get your team back in this game. They've done a great job calling some QB design runs to get you nice and comfortable, get the ball out of your hands with short passes, but command this offense.
17th carry for Roland Dempster. Howard out of bounds in front of the Rams bench. Case Mankins, the captain of the defensive line there for the stop. 6 tackles, a sack, a critical fourth quarter forced fumble last week for Case Mankins. Eventually led to the Farrell-Buchanan connection, one that we also saw in the first half today. Buchanan, by the way, remains 17 yards from 2,000 in his career. Up the middle, absorbing contact, and out across the 30-yard line. Roland Dempster continues to roll into opponent territory. Stony Brook could use it. Third catch from Marquise Dietz, quick hitter, minimal gain. Stony Brook keeping those wheels moving. By the way, Roland Dempster goes over 100 yards. He had 7 of those games last year. It's the 10th in his SBU career.
And he's going to get the football in this second half. I feel as though the offensive line for the Seawolves has said, hey, let's run the football. We'll get you back in this game.
Third down and manageable forthcoming after E.K. Iko Ragsdale gets his third carry of the game. Seawolves again to the line quickly, got to get to the 19. And movement going on Stony Brook. That's a big one for SBU, backs him up 5 yards. So it's going to make it about 3rd and maybe 11, but also pushes them, if it matters at this point, out of field goal range. Remember, Edna Kirby has not returned since getting injured in the first half on a botched field goal.
And you know, being in that position to where you don't have a kicker and it kind of forces you to go for it on 4th, that could work in your advantage as well.
Uh-oh.
Penalty flag on the play.
So back-to-back hankies. All the good work Stony Brook did to power into the opponent's territory. Undone by the 2 back-to-back penalties.
It's unfortunate, man. It looks like the refs are like doing the disco, you know, like John Travolta and
I believe that's known as the locomotion.
Is that what that's called? Come on, everybody. But you don't want to see that right now if you're a Seawolves fan. After you have a big run by Roland Dempster to get you on the fringe area, you have back-to-back penalties to put you in 3rd and unmanageable.
So now 3rd and 15, little screen. Tez Williams, a lot of work to do, still going. Tez all the way to the 20. They had to get to the 19. Stony Brook bench vying for that extra yard. Where does Des Williams go out of bounds? It looks like he'll be just short. 4th down, less than a yard to go into the red zone for Stony Brook. There's a prime Dempster tote. It gives them more than the yard they needed.
He went for that contact. There was going to be a collision on that play, but you know what? Great play call to get the ball to Des Williams on that quick screen. The 3rd and long, you didn't want to force anything down the field. Get the ball to one of your playmakers. That's great individual effort by him.
If some is good, more is better. Unless you're the defense. Another carry for Roland Dempster. Did you start him, Brandon, in your Coastal Fantasy League, week 2?
I don't play fantasy, and I hate watching football with people who have fantasy lineups because they ruin the game. That's where I stand with that.
All right. Sorry for the prompt. All I was going to say was 20 carries, 120 yards, and a touchdown.
What's that, 6 points? Did you play him in this league, but then you sat him in that league?
I started him at my flex, Brandon, okay? Another player down here for Rhode Island at the 20-yard line. Or rather for Stony Brook at the 20-yard line on the Rhode Island side. So it has been that kind of night for these teams. Believe that is Tommy Inge, the VMI transfer grad student playing in his first season with Stony Brook. So the Seawolves regrouping here in the near sideline. Brandon, interesting football game here today. Interesting football day. Not ideal conditions, right? Teams getting together. Week 2 Coastal matchup, a big one. Trying to get after it quick. Well, they get delayed, and then delayed, and then delayed. And this is maybe the 3rd or 4th injury delay we've had once the game is kicked off. So tough for any of these teams to find some flow. And with 10:06 remaining in the 3rd quarter, Tommy Inge still down at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, we went delay, 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 turnover, 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 touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. It's like everything's coming in threes. It's unfortunate with Inge being down because, again, I talk about how the Seawolves offensive line is a position of power. It's a strong position when it comes to this offensive line. And you look at Roland Dempster and how he's able to run the ball, have holes, get into the next level, second and third levels of a defense. It's because the continuity of this offensive line, but two, just the way they work together in terms of opening up holes for him. You're seeing him getting up right now. That's a great sign. But at the end of the day, if you're the Seawolves offense right now, you're thinking we have to score here. And I'm not trying to add any added pressure to Zealous and Roland Dempster and these guys, but if you're thinking about it, if you don't get any points right now after this drive, after another drive where you've had a big play on the ground, you've converted on a 3rd and long, that can be deflating. You can see some guys' heads drop going back to the sideline if they don't get 7 out of this.
Ball from Rhode Island, 15-yard.
So we resume 5 minutes into the 3rd quarter with much of the same Roland Dempster, who is lassoed down after a minimal gain. And it'll bring up a 3rd down inside the red zone for SBU on what has become kind of a slow, quiet drive here. Still plenty of fans sticking it out here on Long Island's North Shore. Not many of those fans, though, are sans umbrella.
Here comes one of those big boy throws, or big boy throw moments for Zealous. 3rd and about 6 to 7. If you like it, take it.
6 touchdown passes last year for Zealous with Hampton. It's Dempster angling to the pylon. Roland is in, but a flag behind the line of scrimmage. And it's holding on Stony Brook. Erased the 2nd touchdown of the day for Roland Dempster.
Holding penalty called against the Seawolves.
See, great play call, great design. Roland kind of bounced it out there. I can't see who the penalty was on, but you know what? It really doesn't matter at this point because it just erased points. Now you're back into another 3rd and long situation. You already got him with the quick screen to Des Williams for him to get up the field and to put them in a 4th and manageable. Now, Rhode Island's going to be waiting for anything and everything quick.
So 3rd down and 18 after the penalty. Deep ball, dangerous ball. Incomplete. Right into double coverage.
Now what do? You don't have a kicker, or you don't have your starting kicker.
Johnson and Hibbert on the coverage.
But you do have Michael Menino.
4th down and 16.
The freshman from Huntington Station. Went to nearby Walt Whitman High School. Will attempt his first collegiate field goal. Gets a little practice.
Timeout. Rhode Island.
So that can't possibly be icing the kicker here with 9:11 remaining. The Lightning has done all the icing today.
But had to say the L word just now, didn't you?
Jim Fleming does take his first timeout. So Michael Menino, who had been spoken about a little bit during training camp. Stony Brook liked their kicking situation. Kirby gets hurt in the first half. Menino, the Huntington Station native, the former Brian Collins Kicker of the Year on Long Island, was also a big-time standout soccer player. So we'll see what he can do here in his first ever NCAA field goal attempt. The practice one was good, but that does not count, Brandon London.
One thing about football, it's a game that's going to give you the opportunity. You're the backup kicker, and now you have the opportunity to come in and put points on the board for your team. Let's see how he handles the moment.
Menino from 41. It's got plenty of leg. Michael Menino did not get it. He pushed it right. Lengthy drive by Stony Brook. They come up empty. The lead remains 2 scores for Rhode Island. We'll return with a conclusion of the 3rd quarter after this on FloCollege. Stony Brook misses the 41-yard field goal. And with 9:06 remaining, still a 14-point lead for Rhode Island. Before the drive gets started, we go back turfside with Johnny Gadamowicz.
Hey, thanks, Johnny. Yeah, interesting to see the night that Chris Zealous has put together so far. 7 of 13 through the air, 92 yards, another 65 on the ground. It was interesting to hear Billy Kosh's take on it. Said the biggest thing we want to teach him is that you don't have to win the game by yourself. You got to remember, Zealous coming over from a Hampton program that did not win many games this year, and I'm sure Brandon could elaborate it on how you go about reassuring to your quarterback, look, we don't need you to be Superman.
Yeah, you got a great, you have a great running back in the backfield. We'll be able to rely heavy on him. We'll be calling plays, intermediate throws to get you comfortable. And then when you don't have something, take off, use your legs, put yourself in 2nd and 6. By scrambling on first down and getting 4 yards, keep yourself ahead of the chain. So Billy Kosh is calling a game to keep him in a comfortable situation. Zealous just has to take advantage of the opportunities when they present themselves.
6 consecutive scoreless drives for Stony Brook since the 10-0 lead after the first quarter. Farrell well protected, gonna step up and dart to the right. Good shoestring tackle across the 30-yard line. Shamar Askin with the right-handed tackle. They had 7 of them last week at San Diego State, one of the new DBs for SBU. And there is the trip up from the transfer from Siena Heights.
Yeah, he laid the boom earlier today. He's having a pretty solid game when it comes up and making tackles. But right now, and I know I say this a lot, Johnny, this is a very important 3rd down for the Seawolves defense. They need to get off the field.
Well, again, surprisingly, Rhode Island just 1 for 6 on 3rd down despite the offensive success tonight. Farrell, bad throw. A rare misfire for Buchanan. And after all that, Stony Brook will get the football back just about halfway through the 3rd quarter. We weren't kidding when we said this game might end tomorrow.
Look, at the end of the day, if you're Stony Brook, you like it. You got to like the fact that your defense is keeping you in this game. Defense is giving you another opportunity to get a possession to go down and try and score. You could use a big play on special teams right here to try and shorten the field for your offense.
Allen, the Australian punter. Right between the hashes, Dietz lets it drop. And it's gonna take a Rams bounce. And it will roll all the way to the 22-yard line.
Great job by Marquise Dietz, not trying to be too aggressive or overly aggressive on that, trying to attack that football. At the end of the day, you want to make sure at the end of one of those punts, you want to make sure your offense gets the ball. But right now, this is a huge drive for Chris Zealous and this offense. It's all about see if they can recapture some of this momentum, Johnny. Because if you're going to have a chance to come back from down 14, you have to put together a long drive. When they score off of a short field, off of a muffed kick return. Now, if you can put together a long drive, you're playing with confidence.
There is the Coach Kosh and Anthony Davis effect from last year for Stony Brook. Really struggled to move the football in the 2023 winless season. The new regime last year, a new Billy Kosh era. There's only so much you could put on the graphic. We get 4 bullet points, but we could give you a CBS receipt list of things that Billy Kosh improved last year for Stony Brook. 2nd down and 8. Zealous goes under center. And now he doesn't. Zealous, quick hitter, Cole Benici. Gonna be about half a yard short of the first down. Benici had the big 40-yard catch in the first half, his first catch of the season. And again, gotta remember a lot of these Stony Brook players, right? They went to San Diego State to play their lone FBS opponent, but didn't exactly get to do a lot of the things they planned to do. So sort of week 2 here, but still a lot of week 1 moments. This is the 12th 3rd down opportunity for Stony Brook. They've converted on 4 of them. Farrell got it. Just dives across the 34-yard line. That'll keep the drive moving. 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. Still a two-score game, Brandon London. Starting to get a little bit later here. Not because it's 11 o'clock at night, but almost the end of the third quarter.
But yeah, it is because of the way that Stony Brook's offense is formatted. They haven't shown the ability to throw the football down the field, so a lot of it's been a bunch of dink and dunk type throws, and then you're hoping you get a big play by Roland Dempster in the run game. But they're gonna have to connect on a big play pretty soon, shorten the field, and get in the end zone. That's most important.
Previous tackle by Jordan Campbell. Sacred Heart transfer, played 4 years there.
Jersey guy too.
Bunch of Jersey, New York representation in this one. Everything remains on the ground, other than the one reception by Cole Benici. We dip under the 5-minute marker, fewer than 20 minutes to go in regulation. It has been a lengthy day for everybody involved here at Laval Stadium, players, coaches, employees. And the Seawolves trying to stretch this game to the fourth quarter in a one-score game.
Here goes one of those big boy throws I was talking about earlier. 3rd and about 6 to 7. You need to keep these chains moving. Believe in your throw.
5 receiver spread set. Zealous stepped up, was lassoed down.
Zealous sacked on the play by Muse.
Moses Muse first to contact. It's a sack for the Rams and a 4th down for Stony Brook.
Stony Brook's offense has just been stale since the beginning of the game. That's now 7 straight drives with 0 points. At the end of the day, the defense can only hold up this Rams offense for so long. They're going to need some help, some complimentary football by their offense.
Fewer than 4 minutes remaining in the third quarter. The Rams get the football back, and we'll conclude the third frame when we return right here on FloCollege.
At H2M, we play to win. Architecture, engineering, sustainability. We compete to be the best there is. We believe in teamwork. Working together, building together, winning together.
My Country 96.1, Long Island's home for country. Playing all the hits from the superstars and the new stars. We also bring you some of the biggest country shows on Long Island at the Catholic Health Amphitheater at Bald Hill and other local venues. Download the My Country 96.1 app now on your smartphone and take us wherever you go.
Mr. Murphy was a big runner, and running was a big part of his life. And I'm also a runner. I know that running becomes part of who you are. And when you can't do that any longer, it's taken away from you. You lose a sense of who you are. I was determined to get him back running, and I promised him that once we were done with his treatment, we would run a race together. So we're here to celebrate his accomplishments and perseverance and his strength, and I'm so thankful to be able to run by his side.
Rhode Island 24, Stony Brook 10. Final few minutes of the third quarter here at Laval Stadium. He's Brandon London. I'm Johnny Wincott. Johnny Kadamowitz roaming the sidelines. Becca Carter touching all the right buttons as our producer. And Jeff Bernstein, our stats extraordinaire. Well, the drive starts at the 25-yard line after the fair catch by Angel Sanchez. Brandon, you get a sense if Rhode Island can get a few more points on the board here at the end of the third or early in the fourth, might be getting late for Stony Brook.
Yeah, if they're able to put 3 on the board, I think that, again, because of the way that Stony Brook's offense is constructed, that would be the game. But I don't count this Seawolves defense out.
Farrell pumps. Farrell throws a short pass over the middle. Littleton Jr. accelerates. Right by the line to gain, he has it. 10-yard pickup. And the clock continues to tick. We told you Antoine Littleton Jr., he is the guy now. 25 attempts, 85 yards, 2 tutties in your URI debut. Does it in front of the home faithful. That's a good way to become a fan favorite very quickly in the season.
Absolutely. You may show up next home game, got a couple of little kids with your jersey on, rocking that 4. He's got the Ashton Genty stance. He's been solid.
Littleton with blockers. Littleton cuts it back across Wolfie. Back-to-back 10-yard pickups by Antoine Littleton, 1 on the ground, 1 through the air. And Rhode Island picking up where they left off, 24 consecutive points. The only 10 for SBU came in the first quarter.
And again, I talk about the luxury of having a back like a Roland Dempster and an Antoine Littleton Jr. Not only, again, a back that can run between the tackles, runs hard, protects the football, but can also bounce it outside, be a speed back as well. But the ability he gives you out of the backfield.
Penalty flag on the play. False start against Rhode Island. That 5-yard penalty.
Stony Brook's defense needed that.
41-yard line. First and 15.
Both teams have committed 5 penalties here in a Week 2 matchup. Those are the sorts of things you see in the first few weeks. Down to 2:33 to go, third quarter. Five-yard penalty makes it 1st and 15 from the 41. Off the play fake, Farrell, deep ball, Buchanan cannot come up with it. Bryson Parker in coverage, the leading tackler last week in his first ever Stony Brook game. Parker comes by way of Richmond, 3 seasons in the Coastal. Richmond not in the Coastal anymore, but so is Bryson Parker.
Looking back at that play, that's a ball that Farrell's gonna want. I think a lot of people sleep on Buchanan's speed because he's 6'4", but he ran the slot fade. We called it a box route when I was up in Canada with the Montreal Alouettes. You want to put that ball out there a little bit more because he had 2 to 3 steps. Seawolves defense in the 2nd and 15.
Inside Kiev. You start to understand Jim Fleming's comparison of Antoine Littleton Jr. and Roland Dempster, more than just the number 4.
Yep.
Right, big boys, running downhill, don't want to get in the way of them. So also a little wrinkle they can both catch out of the backfield. Littleton Jr. certainly familiar with this offense. Fleming saying we're familiar with Littleton Jr. He's been here since last spring. So kind of a more older transfer. 3rd down and 11 from the 45. Got to get into opponent territory to the 44 to keep the drive moving. Farrell in the pocket. Fires to the far sideline. Nobody home, 4th down.
Really good coverage by number 27, Miles McGoy on there. Way to get his head back. Because even though it wasn't a catchable ball, let's say it was, that's how a lot of DBs get themselves in trouble anytime there's a 50-50 ball and they don't get their head back. But again, great job, great stop by Stony Brook's defense for the 3rd time this half, getting the ball back for the offense.
Marquise Dees halted in at the 18. And the Stony Brook Seawolves return to their home turf, looking for some points. 7 consecutive scoreless drives. For a little more context on the SBU offense, we're going back down to Johnny Gadamowicz.
Thanks, guys. Feels like for Stony Brook, at least from a sideline perspective, a lot of the offensive struggles have mounted from the guys up front, the offensive line. 2 phrases I heard plenty here over the course of the past couple of minutes. Make your mind up and stay connected to the group as a unit on the offensive line.
First down toss to the flats. as Williams twists across for a 2-yard pickup.
That was a great observation by Johnny, and I told you that the offensive line is one of the strong points on this, or strong units on this team, but I think they're doing their job. What they're upset is there's late leakage, and their guys are able to come off of a block and get a tackle and stop big gains.
Williams, or rather Dempster, just barely caught in the shoestrings into opponent territory. And Roland Dempster turns something that didn't seem like much into a big gainer for Stony Brook.
Quick flat route. Way to get his, call it an arrow route, gets out to the flats. Way to get his head around the catch, but his ability to make guys miss in the open field. I know we talk about him being an in-between the tackle running back, but in space, no one wants to see this man.
Final 30 seconds, third quarter. Dempster again lowers the helmet. The Dempster truck unloads at the far sideline. Stony Brook into good field position here. Just 4 plays into the drive. Second down and short, 15 seconds to play. Stony Brook to the line again. Roland Dempster has 23 carries for 130 yards and a touchdown. Zealous, design keeper, stays on his feet. He's got the first down. Little stumble out of the gate there for the Hampton transfer, but he gathers and picks up the first down. Chain gang gets moving, and we send you to break at the end of the third quarter. Stony Brook on the move, down by 2 scores right here on FloCollege. First play, fourth quarter. Stony Brook inside opponent territory, the 35-yard line. And they keep moving in the right direction. A lengthy drive here, one of the better ones for SBU. Got to come away with points. Probably got to be 7. He's Brandon London. I'm Johnny Wincott. Johnny Gadamowitz roaming the sidelines. Appreciate you hanging with us as Ragsdale absorbed the first hit. Gallops across the 20 for a first down.
I love the way he's come in and provided a spark and keeping this run game going. I just want to say, Tiki Barber, high and tight, put that football around.
This guy with the Tiki Barber. Left side handoff, going to be a 2-yard pickup for Stony Brook. I was kidding when I said you're getting paid by the Tiki Barber mention. Tiki Barber, Tiki Barber.
High and tight, man, put that football away. You see they got to drive and You heard them playing Welcome to the Jungle on the stadium speakers. This fringe area has been the jungle for this Stony Brook's offense. This is where they kind of been stalling out. So high and tight, put the football away, make a big boy throw if you have to, and don't make a penalty.
Dempster looking for a seam, does not find it. So third down coming up for Stony Brook. Enda Kirby has not returned since injury. Very well could be 4-down territory.
Oh, without a doubt, especially if you don't have any sort of penalty on this play. But here's that moment. I'm not saying this is the season, but early in the season when you're trying to figure out who you are, what your new identity is going to be this year, this is a big third down for this Seawolves offense.
Low snap handled by Zealous. Right down the seam, he's got the first down. Chris Zealous keeps the game moving inside the 5-yard line. Boy, at times today, the legs have looked better than the arm for number 2.
Yeah, and as much as a receiver, I want him, to throw the football, give his receiver some action. If this is what makes him comfortable, and if this is how you're gonna get the best out of him on a rainy night, then keep feeding it. Keep feeding him.
We have entered the Dempster zone, but this time it's Ragsdale. So E.K. Ika Ragsdale, the transfer from North Texas, who endured a couple of season-ending injuries over the last 2 years, gets the first goal line tote for Stony Brook on this drive. And number 0 remains in the huddle. No Roland Dempster at the moment.
If you got Ragsdale on your fantasy, you're pretty excited right now, huh? About what could potentially happen. Could potentially get you 6 points here.
Don't ask me to spell his first name, but E.K. Ika lined up to the left. Gets the tote, met immediately. The teeth in a defensive line there. First he made contact, Gerard Hills, the Syracuse native, preventing Stony Brook from getting across the goal line. Probably 2 more cracks at it, and they will do it from the 3.
There are a lot of high-velocity collisions happening on the field right now. Very physical football game in the rain. Gotta love CAA football and this physicality.
Dempster back in the game. 12th play of the drive. Roland is not carrying. It's Chris Zealous for the touchdown. They faked out the defense. They faked out the broadcaster. It's 6 for Stony Brook and back to a 1-score game.
And that was great for Zealous, for him to lead a drive and get them down the field. Now, usually when you say lead a drive, you want to think with your arm, but his feet add another dimension.
Michael Menino powers the extra point through. Another look at the 3-yard touchdown scamper for Chris Zealous will send us to break in a 24-17 game at LaValle Stadium. One-score game, fourth quarter, 11:30 to play. Doing alongside Brandon London, I'm Johnny Wincott. Johnny Goodamwood's down by the field. Jeff Bernstein on the stats. Becca Garner, our producer. 24-17. Stony Brook gets the touchdown, ends the stretch of 24 consecutive points by the Road Rams. This is about more where we expected this game to be in the fourth quarter.
Absolutely, and I hope y'all are not yawning and you didn't go to sleep, because we got ourselves a good football game right now. But great job for Stony Brook's offense being able to get 7, cut into that lead. Strange things have happened this game, Johnny. Seawolves defense, 3 straight stops to start the second half. Seawolves offense capitalized. Let's see if they can do it again on the defense side of the ball.
I was gonna say, strange things happen before the game, strange things are happening during the game. Yeah, I gotta bet strange things might happen after the game too. Again, if you're just joining us, about 2.5 hours delayed due to lightning. First home game of the season for Stony Brook, first coastal game of the season for Stony Brook. Rhode Island defeated Campbell last week at home in their series opener, 10th consecutive home win, and a chance to start their CAA campaign 2-0 in the first 2 weeks of the college season. Farrell all day to throw, deposits to the right, big time lick. A.J. Roberts dislodged the football.
Do you see what a touchdown does? Do you hear the crowd noise in the background? Watch A.J. Roberts close on that football. You can't see it, but we felt it. Huge hit. Now you put them in a position to where it's 2nd and 10. Seawolves defense, do you feel the energy? Do you see? And it's because of the Seawolves defense that this crowd has life. Let's see if they can put this thing to bed in terms of this drive.
Roberts, the leading tackler last year for Stony Brook, had 86 of them. Farrell unleashes deep down the sideline. Did he get it? Oh, yes, he did. Abora Kwarteng, his biggest grab of the young season, and into opponent territory with 11 minutes to play in the fourth.
And that's a huge catch for him. He got the one-on-one, he got steps. Now remember when we talked about Buchanan having steps a little earlier, that ball was underthrown. Way to put that thing out there so he can use his speed and run under it. Rams are rolling.
From the Stony Brook 42, Littleton has blockers. Littleton to the second level. Tripped up at the 26-yard line. And after a very slow, methodical drive by Stony Brook, 12 plays, 82 yards, 5 minutes. Just a few plays to go halfway down the field for Rhode Island. There is AJ, the LB. Stony Brook has an opportunity really to put together one of the most dangerous linebacking cores of the Coastal.
Right now, they're gonna need them to show up on this drive. You can't even give up a field goal.
Farrell twists out of the way. There is a flag on the play, and he runs out of bounds. That goes down as a sack for Stony Brook, but we'll wait on the flag.
We still playing charades? That was the Shador Sanders Rowley right there.
I was gonna say, you played college football, National Football League football, Canadian Football League football. If you don't know what that meant, I don't know what you were doing for those 15 years.
Yeah, but let me tell you how huge of a penalty that was. Now, after the back-to-back big plays on the pass and on the run, now this kind of backs them up a little bit. Stony Brook's defense, you got a little bit of cushion for a long field goal if you can keep them here. But if you're Stony Brook's defense, you're thinking turnover now because they have to put the ball in the air.
All eyes in the Coastal on this one. Standalone game now in the CAA. Farrell shifting left, another flag in the area of holding. And Farrell meets the rest of the Seawolves here at the near sideline. This is looking like another holding call on Rhode Island. So after the 6th penalty by Rhode Island, That's going to back him up all the way to the 46-yard line. So remember, just a few moments ago, Abora Kwarteng made that catch look like he was down at the 30. Penalty pushed him back to the 42. And another penalty here pushes them back to the 46.
If I'm Stony Brook, I'm looking out for the screen right here.
There it is, Brandon London right on cue. Antoine Littleton gains back most of the yards from the penalty. And Brandon very humbly making no reaction at all to my right after calling that play.
Come on, man. I am a Madden defensive coordinator. I scream these things out on 3rd and long over the headset to someone in Taiwan somewhere that I'm playing against online. You just know it. You have to have disciplined eyes on a 1st and super long situation. Now expect Rhode Island to try and throw the football down the field right here. They may try to get some sort of cheap penalty, like some defensive PI, but if you're Stony Brook, you gotta be sound with your coverage.
Farrell, quick hitter, gains the 3rd. Has been a sneaky good target today, has number 8. It sets up a 3rd down and long, still gotta get inside the 18-yard line.